Chapter 1000. What? You want to establish a new club? The Social Union Committee's tent was more formal, with the school's emblem and the Social Union Committee's emblem on it. A second-year male officer sat there, seemingly bored to death, fiddling with his phone with his head down. He only raised his head after Li Fan and the others arrived. "What's wrong, senior? Can't I?" Li Fan asked. No. It's just that there aren't many people establishing clubs at this time, so I'm a little surprised." The club member's eyes were fixed on the twins behind Li Fan, not even glancing at Li Fan. It was as if shifting his gaze away for even a second was a sin for the officer. "Come, fill out the form." The officer handed over a form. Before Li Fan could look at it, Jiang Yuan had already taken it from him. Seems simple. 3 people are required for the initial registration, and 5 people after a week. What a coincidence. You should thank us, President. Jiang Yuan winked at Li Fan. Yuan, do you have a needle hole? Jiang Fong tilted her head and looked at her sister. I don't. Jiang Yuan glared at her sister angrily, then passed the form to Li Fan. "Write down the vice president here." Here. Remember to write my name." Li Fan didn't know what to say, but thinking that there was no one left in the club, he decided to let her be the vice president for now. Future matters could be dealt with later. "You guys, are you going to establish a cosplay club?" The officer couldn't help but remind, the school already has 2 cosplay clubs, and the animation club also has cosplay. Some of the outstanding cosplayers in the school are in the animation club. "No, I want to establish a martial arts club." Li Fan solemnly wrote these 3 words on the club's name. "Martial arts club?" The officer was a little surprised. "You're not joking, right? Establishing a martial arts club that belongs to China? Do I look like I'm joking?" Li Fan looked at the officer and asked, "Of course you. Could it be that the position of the president was written with the 2 words Li Fan?" This brother suddenly shut up. "So you're Li Fan? All right, continue." "Even a second-year student knows me?" Li Fan was a little surprised, but he quickly calmed down and continued to fill in the form. He wrote Jiang Yuan's name as the vice president and Jiang Fong's name as the member. Within a week, there must be more than 5 members joining the club. If you don't have 5 people, you will be forcibly removed from the club. Got it. Is there anything else I need to pay attention to? The rest are some club rules. I'll send you a small handbook later. It's written in detail. If there's anything else you don't understand, you can send your vice president to communicate with me. Okay, I will definitely communicate with you, senior. Jiang Yuan smiled. Her smile made the officer's heart go up and down, as if he had returned to his first love. With such a beautiful girl, even he wanted to join this martial arts club. However, how many people would join this club in the school? If it was a martial arts club, it seemed like the other 3 big clubs were more popular. Chinese martial arts had long been on the decline. How could it be brought up by a first-year student who could only fight a few times? This freshman was really too naive. The cruel reality of society would teach him a good lesson. The club has already been registered. Can we welcome the new members now? Jiang Yuan immediately asked. Sure, but we don't have a table. We don't need a parasol for the time being, but we definitely need a table. Jiang Yuan frowned. Where can we get a table? I have a spare here. You can use it. The officer quickly moved a table from the back. I have a seat next to me. You guys can use it. Is this really okay, senior? Jiang Yuan suddenly became shy. I'll be shy like this. It's okay. You are a junior and also the vice president of the new club. Our association committee should help you. The officer's attitude towards Jiang Yuan was friendly, but you have to be careful of the student council. They are not as supportive of clubs as we are. If you guys break the rules, they will definitely find a way to ban you. Okay, I got it. Thank you for the reminder, senior. Jiang Yuan coaxed the officer to the point that she almost gave him a parasol and even personally helped them to recruit new members. Jiang Fong followed Li Fan and began to decorate the club's welcome area. They didn't have any tools for the time being, so they could only borrow a pen and paper from the association. They wrote a welcome letter for the martial arts club and hung it in front of the table. All right, you can sit here from now on. Jiang Yuan pressed on Li Fan's shoulder and let him sit on the chair she borrowed. Leave the rest to us sisters. The sister stood in front and attracted a lot of attention. But most of them were only here to take pictures with the girls and were not interested in the martial arts club at all. Ah, it seems like I have nothing to do with it. Li Fan was a little depressed. It's a welcome. It's a public relations job. It should be done by the girls. Jiang Yuan was quite open-minded. You just need to oversee the overall situation. Useless president, Jiang Fong muttered. Li Fan was unhappy. Who said I'm useless? I have a lot of uses. What use do you have? Jiang Fong asked. Fuck, believe it or not, I will smash a boulder on my chest. Li Fan pointed to the boulder beside him and said, Sure. Jiang Yuan clapped her hands. I really want to see it. Fuck, I'm just saying. Li Fan was also a little unhappy. He was a dignified president after all. Putting this aside, he was also a Huaxia's top escort. Why couldn't he handle a small club welcome? Little junior brother. Just when Li Fan was at his wit's end, he suddenly saw a familiar figure walking towards him. Li Fan's eyes lit up. My goodness, why is she here? Little senior sister? Li Fan's voice was full of shock. Xia Yi was wearing a light yellow long dress with a beautiful braid. She was full of joy, but when she saw Li Fan stare, she was a little afraid. Little junior brother, I am disturbing you. Yi Zichen asked. Xia Yi lowered her head and fiddled with the corner of her clothes. I was just worried about you, so I wanted to come and see. No, little senior sister. You came at the right time. Li Fan laughed heartily. This was really a divine soldier descending from the heavens. Chapter 1001. Hello, little senior sister. Hello. After Li Fan introduced them, the two cosplayers greeted Xia Yi. Jiang Yuan was still graceful, while Jiang Fong was still shy. The personalities of these two girls were clear at a glance. Little junior brother, when you get to school, you have to focus on your studies. Don't just focus on girls. Xia Yi could not help but secretly send a message to Li Fan. No way, this is a new club I've established, the martial arts club. Li Fan clarified. It's not as dirty as little senior sister thinks. They're both successors of Bagua Zhang. Martial arts club? That's pretty good. Xia Yi agreed with Li Fan's approach. You're indeed my little junior brother to promote our Chinese martial arts. Is this sister a disciple of Manhua? Jiang Yuan was curious about Xia Yi. Although they had learned martial arts from their families since young, they had never seen disciples from other sections. Their families had protected them well and had not let them experience any dangerous battles in the martial world. Yes, I'm the real deal. Li Fan looked at the backpack on Xia Yi's back. Little senior sister, did you bring your sword? Yes. Xia Yi nodded. The charming sword would always be with her when she went out. Even if she took a plane, the sword would be transported. However, it was impossible to transport it officially. Fortunately, they were an escort agency and had their own channels. Recently, Ling Tian had been discussing routes with Wang Tofu. They were trying to open up a private route for Fifan to be well-connected. Before Li Fan left, he suggested a good idea. For all the escort agencies in the world, each agency more or less had one or a few routes in their hands. Li Fan was planning to form an escort agency alliance. Anyone who wanted to join the alliance would have to contribute their own underground route and share it with the other agencies in the alliance. It was like a community. Although there might be some difficulties in the early stages, Li Fan believed that as more agencies joined, the alliance would get better and better. A few days ago, Ling Tian had reported that this Gold Medallion Alliance already had 10 escort agencies in it. Among them, there were even 2 small escort agencies. With the addition of Li Fan's family, the private routes of the 11 escort agencies formed a preliminary network that began to spread in all directions of Huaxia. Xia Yi had also taken some time to come over. She knew that Li Fan would have to return to Phenomenal Escort Agency in 2 days. There were still many things for her to handle there. Xia Yi was now an indispensable part of Phenomenal. Little senior sister, I'll leave it to you, Li Fan whispered in Xia Yi's ear, and Xia Yi blushed slightly. Will this work? All right, little senior sister, trust me. The twins didn't know what Li Fan was talking about. This president was so mysterious. Meanwhile, the Society Association officer was also jealous. How did this Li Fan get to know so many beautiful girls? How illogical. All right then. Xiaoho reluctantly agreed. After that, can I join your club? Aya, little sister Xiaoho. Without waiting for Li Fan to speak, Jiang Yuan took a step forward and held Xiaoho's hands. That won't do. Although I really want a gentle and beautiful little senior sister like you to join, the school has its rules. Clubs can only be joined by students. Oh, that's a pity. Xiaoho sighed softly as though she was feeling sorry. She put down the luggage behind her and took out a box. She placed it on the table and slowly opened it. There was an ancient sword inside. It was Xiaoho's charming sword. Xiaoho held the charming sword and swung her dress. She turned around and looked at the crowd behind her. I am starting? All the best, little senior sister. I believe in you. Li Fan made a gesture of encouragement to her. I'll do my best. Xiaoho usually wouldn't reject her little junior brother's request. She wore a light yellow dress and took 2 steps forward. Then, she gripped her charming sword tightly. The twins and the society secretary widened their eyes as though they wanted to see what this beautiful Huashan female disciple wanted to do. Especially the secretary. He was still muttering to himself. Huashan? Isn't that a tourist attraction? Where did the Huashan sect come from? Is this Li Fan trying to fool people, or is he trying to impress the crowd? Just as this thought popped up in his mind, Xiaoho began to move. Li Fan also took out a jade flute from Xiaoho's luggage. Xiaoho brought it especially for Li Fan. He accidentally left it at home when he was at school. Li Fan didn't know how to play the flute, but Jiang Yi did. Previously, Li Fan was very interested when he saw Chung Mohan attacking him with music. So, he learned from Jiang Yi for a period of time. He taught Jiang Yi martial arts, and Jiang Yi taught him how to play the flute. He enjoyed it. However, Li Fan didn't know many songs. He only knew 1 or 2. He didn't learn much, but with the attitude of mastering 1 song at a time, he practiced these 2 songs to the point of perfection, and he could play them with ease. You know how to play the flute? Seeing Li Fan take out a black flute, Jiang Yuan was a little surprised. Yes, I know a little. I can use it. As Li Fan spoke, he stood there, held the black flute, and slowly blew it. At first, Jiang Yuan still didn't believe it. However, after Li Fan played for a while, she was completely convinced. Li Fan was really good at playing the flute. A song with an ancient style entered their ears. As the saying went, the melody lingered for 3 days. Although Li Fan's music wasn't that good, his song was mixed with his true chi. Everyone felt as if they had been brought to a desolate battlefield. A lonely general sat on top of a pile of bones, holding a flag that had been burned into tatters. The sky was cold, and the crows were wailing. Everyone's pores opened up. It was summer, but they felt a chill from the soles of their feet. Xiaoho also moved. She waved the shining, charming sword in her hand and began to dance with the music. This was the sword dance that Xiaoho learned when she was on Mount Hua. Usually, she would only take it out during the Mount Hua sect's memorial and show it with a few female disciples. This time, at Li Fan's request, she performed this sword dance. Xiaoho was already beautiful. Today, she was wearing an ancient-style dress and dancing a sword. Under the afternoon sun, she was so beautiful that it couldn't be described. Even the twins were dumbfounded by what they saw. The officer was even more dumbfounded. He didn't even realize that the phone he was fiddling with had fallen to the ground. And this unique way of recruiting finally began to attract more people. Chapter 1002. Xia Yi's sword dance was as beautiful as a painting, attracting the attention of the people around her. When had there ever been such a simple beauty on a university campus? In university, even the most simple and unpretentious girl would become fashionable. A girl like Xia Yi was like a beauty walking out of an ancient painting. Her beauty was unparalleled. Everyone thought they were watching a movie. Some even suspected that they had traveled back to ancient times. If not for the eye-catching banners around them, they would have thought they had traveled back to ancient times. Accompanied by Li Fan's flute, everyone was mesmerized and looked like they were in a dream. Many people were muttering to themselves. This year, the societies had really come up with many new tricks to recruit new members. However, although there were many people watching, there were still few who wanted to sign up. The Chinese Martial Arts Society. How boring. I've already signed up for karate. That's the professional side. Martial arts is just fancy, but not practical. Do they teach Wing Chun here? There were indeed many people asking, and more people taking photos. However, Li Fan and the others were like the background wall. They were only for these people to visit, but no one came to sign up. They were busy for the whole afternoon. Li Fan's mouth was about to blister, and Xia Yi's body was sore from dancing. More than an hour had passed, but the registration form was still empty. Only Lin Yuhsin came by halfway and left after signing up. Although she did not practice martial arts, she could help manage the club. Lin Yuhsin was still interviewing for the secretary of the student council, so she could not accompany Li Fan. When the sun was about to set, besides a pair of beautiful sisters, no one else signed up for Li Fan's martial arts club. Student, if you like it, sign up. Li Fan saw a boy could not bear to take his eyes off Jiang Yuan, so he asked, even if it was a pervert. This won't do, the boy shook his head. I signed up for the Kendo club. They asked me not to join other clubs, Li Fan frowned. Although the school allowed each student to join 3 clubs, some big clubs were more overbearing. If a student wanted to join a club, he or she would not be allowed to join another club. Although these tyrannical rules were fucked up, club members had to abide by them. Otherwise, they would be expelled from the club. There were a lot of people in the 3 big martial arts clubs. Firstly, it was really cool to practice. Secondly, there were a lot of girls in the clubs. Many guys were unwilling to leave the 3 big clubs. For the entire afternoon, no one came. Li Fan was speechless. Little junior brother, I'm really tired. Can I rest for a while? Xia Xian looked at Li Fan with a sore body. Yes, I'm closing today. Li Fan also felt that there might be a problem with his route, and he needed to make some adjustments. Then we'll head back first. After standing for a long time, Jiang Yuan was a little tired. President, when do you have classes tomorrow? I don't have classes in the afternoon. Li Fan's main class tomorrow morning was English. Okay, then we'll come to recruit new members in the morning. Jiang Yuan said, we'll be free tomorrow morning. What are you guys majoring in? I forgot to ask. Business English. Jiang Yuan smiled at Li Fan, but it was obvious that her smile was a little tired. It seems that English has become a compulsory course. Li Fan thought that this was really a coincidence. Lin Yuhsin was also in the English major, and the 2 beautiful sisters were also English-related business majors. They really came together. That's all for today. See you tomorrow. Li Fan exchanged WeChat messages with the 2 of them and was about to arrange a place for Xia Xian to stay. I'll stay in Lin Yuhsin's dormitory. I've already agreed with her. Xia Xian had already arranged everything here. As Li Fan's little senior sister and equivalent to Li Fan's internal affairs manager, how could she let Li Fan help her with her living arrangements? Then I'll have to trouble little senior sister. Li Fan also breathed a sigh of relief. He had never been to the hotels around the school. If he took little senior sister to get a room, he would be a little unused to it. The key was that if he took a girl to get a room and was photographed by those reporters who wandered outside every day, it would be big news. Li Fan had been wanting to keep a low profile recently. When the limelight with Shun Chun passed, everything would be easy. Li Fan, how's the recruitment going today? When Li Fan was lying in bed, he received a WeChat message from Lin Yuhsin. The road ahead of me is long and arduous. Li Fan was filled with emotion. He seemed to have chosen a very difficult path. It's okay. I'll help you think of a way. Before Li Fan could reply to Lin Yuhsin, his phone rang. It was a call from Lu Wan. Li Fan, how's your club? Lu Wan Er's familiar voice was on the other end of the phone. Everything is difficult at the beginning. Li Fan had an indescribable feeling. I'll wait for you downstairs. Come down, I have something for you. Lu Wan hung up the phone after she finished speaking. Fuck, you're asking me to go downstairs so late? Li Fan looked at the time. It was past 8 in the evening, and the dormitory closed at 10. His meeting with senior sister should be over soon. I'll go downstairs for a while. Li Fan greeted the few people in the dormitory. Zhao Ingjun whistled. Did you have a date with a girl? Do you need us to cover for you? The dormitory would check on the dormitory after 9 in the evening. Li Fan waved his hand. No need. I'll be back in a while. Do you need a condom? I have it. Zhao Ingjun smiled extremely wretchedly. You don't have to be polite with me. Fuck off. Why would I want that thing? Li Fan glared at him. I'm here for serious business. All right, I'm going downstairs. This was the convenience of summer. The clothes inside and outside the dormitory were basically the same. Li Fan wore a pair of denim shorts and a pure blue tank top. He went downstairs just like that. Lu Wan was indeed waiting for him downstairs. She was even riding an electric scooter. G University was not small. There were many academic buildings in different locations. Many students bought bicycles or electric scooters for the convenience of traveling. Come, get on. Senior sister will take you for a ride. Lu Wan was wearing a white tracksuit. She winked at Li Fan. Huh, I don't have time to explain. Get on. Sometimes Lu Wan liked to play tricks. Li Fan had no choice but to obediently sit on the back seat of the scooter. Lu Wan twisted the accelerator. The small Emma immediately moved forward slowly. Senior, how can we go for a ride so slowly? Idiot. Use your imagination. All right. Chapter 1003. Lu Wan did not bring Li Fan around, but brought him to the international student dormitory where she lived. Looking at the two-story high dormitory, Li Fan thought it was unfair. They were all students, so why did these international students live so well? Senior, why did you bring me here? I live here. Lu Wan answered Li Fan as she parked the car in the shed. You're an international student? How could I be an international student? It's all because of Shun Chun. As Lu Wan spoke, she took out the key card, walked to the dimly lit door, and opened the dormitory door. I can enter as I please? Li Fan felt that this was no different from his own home. Yeah, we don't have a caretaker here. Lu Wan explained. Come in, treat it as your own home. Li Fan felt like he was a thief, but on second thought, he was a golden escort, and his strength was that of a grandmaster. Wasn't it just entering the female dormitory? What was there to be afraid of? Thinking of this, Li Fan walked into the female dormitory confidently. Sure enough, there was a girl's fragrance as soon as he entered. It was a girl's room after all, and the difference from a boy's room was too big. After entering, he was faced with a spacious living room, and there was even a yoga board on the floor. He wondered which of the two girls practiced yoga. The room was very tidy, without a trace of filth, and the sofa was clean. Li Fan did not even dare to sit on it. Didn't they say that the female dormitory is messier than the male dormitory? This doesn't seem like it. Li Fan could not help but mutter. Yeah, the student dormitory has a housekeeper to clean it every day. Lu Wan's answer made Li Fan speechless. Fuck, the difference in treatment in this school was too big. Here's what I wanted to give you. Lu Wan opened the storeroom and took out a bunch of things. Li Fan took a look. Most of them were publicity posters with the Chinese Martial Arts Society's slogan and logo. I'm still missing a photo, so I want you to help me take it. Lu Wan looked at Li Fan thoughtfully. I found these posters online. I don't think they have enough impact. Thank you for doing so much for me. Why are you being so polite? I'm your senior, so I should take care of you. Moreover, our family Shun Chun has troubled you so many times, I will apologize to you on her behalf. Speaking of which, where has Shun Chun been recently? Li Fan was surprised that Shun Chun had not shown up for the past 2 days. She went to participate in a variety show for the new album. Lu Wan said, My throat is not working, so I have to think of a way. The company has decided to let her become a variety star. Isn't variety star more popular now? That's true, but being a celebrity is too tiring. Li Fan said casually while looking at the publicity poster that Lu Wan had prepared for him. What's so good about attracting attention? Lu Wan changed into a set of home clothes. She wore a short-sleeved yellow shirt and a pair of super shorts, but it was somewhat conservatively paired with flesh-colored stockings. She's already in that position. A lot of things can't be helped, Lu Wan said as she came out of the room with her hair tied up. No way. I think she's quite capricious. Li Fan retracted his gaze from Lu Wan and found a poster. This is not bad. The poster showed the back of Bruce Lee. He was bare-chested and holding a nunchaku in his hand. It was Bruce Lee after all. This back was domineering enough. It's not bad, but it's Bruce Lee. Lu Warner fiddled with a DSLR camera. I think it's better for you to do this. After all, you're a little famous in school now. Fuck, what did you say? Li Fan was dumbfounded. Are you kidding me? Last time you defeated Jean Gang and the others. All the freshmen and sophomores in the school know your name. Lu Warner pointed at Bruce Lee on the poster. So I thought about it. Instead of using Bruce Lee, it's better to use your photo. You put on his pose, and I'll help you take a photo. Then I'll do some Photoshop on your back. I think the effect should be good. Is it reliable? It's reliable. Do you think I'll cheat you? Lu Warner pointed at the center of the living room, where the light was the best. Come on, you're a big boy. Why are you still so shy? Isn't this for the sake of your own club? All right, since you've said so, I won't beat around the bush. Li Fan directly tore off the shirt on his body, revealing the strong body inside. Li Fan was not the kind of fitness expert. His body was full of explosive muscles. The lines on his body were smooth, and the proportion of his muscles was good. It did not look exaggerated at all. Lu Warner looked carefully. It turned out that Li Fan also had a vest line on his lower abdomen. His abdominal muscles were clearly visible, causing her female hormones to rise. Then, you stand here and put on a Bruce Lee pose. Lu Warner hurriedly withdrew her gaze. She coughed twice and asked Li Fan to stand properly. Yes, show me your back, and try to show a sense of power. Li Fan also did not know what to do. He tried his best to satisfy Lu Warner's idea. The muscles and lines are not bad, and quite a sense of power. Lu Warner took a group of photos and showed them to Li Fan. When the time comes, I'll need to Photoshop some tattoos. What do you think is good? What about Shinron? If it's a tattoo, there's no need to Photoshop it. It'll look good if it's Photoshop. I didn't mean that. I have my own. Why didn't I see it? Wait a moment. Li Fan closed his eyes and began to adjust his true chi. He quickly circulated it in his body. The heat on his body also began to increase. His skin turned slightly red. A picture of an overlord subduing a tiger slowly appeared on his back. Looking at the lifelike picture of an overlord subduing a tiger on Li Fan's back, Lu Warner covered her mouth in surprise. You are a special kind of tattoo. It will only appear when the body is hot. Li Fan explained. You rascal, what did you do in the past? Lu Warner asked while taking photos of Li Fan. You still want to open a martial arts society. Could it be that you're a martial arts expert? I can't be considered an expert. I just practice some simple self-defense skills. Li Fan said very modestly. This time, I just want to promote martial arts. I don't want other countries' martial arts to become the mainstream here. Your idea is quite good. Lu Warner was about to say something when there was a knock on the door. The two of them looked at each other. Someone was coming. Warner, are you there? Lu Warner seemed to be a little nervous when she heard this voice. She quickly pointed to the second floor. Go up and hide for a while. What's wrong? We're not having an affair. Why'd I have to hide for a while? You don't understand. Just hide for a while. Please. Lu Warner clasped her hands together and begged Li Fan. Chapter 1004. Li Fan did not know what was going on, but seeing how serious Lu Warner was, and with a pleading look in her beautiful eyes, Li Fan could not refuse. All right, then I'll hide for a bit. Li Fan took advantage of the moment Lu Warner turned to walk to the door, and with a leap, he jumped to the second floor. Hide well. Lu Warner turned around and found that Li Fan had disappeared. He had quite fast. She then opened the door, and a man who looked somewhat mature walked in. Warner, why did you only open the door now? The man looked at Lu Warner with a smile. Don't tell me there's a man hiding inside. How is that possible? Nonsense. Lu Warner seemed to be a little guilty. She was not an actress like Shun Shun, so she was a little flustered. I'm just teasing you. Look at your nervous look. If I don't know you, I would really think that you're hiding a man. The man laughed. Lu Warner said in her heart, I really am hiding a man. Why do you have time to come see me? Lu Warner took advantage of the time when the man took off his coat to secretly tidy up her hair in front of the mirror. I got off work early today, so I came over. I thought you forgot about me. Lu Warner's voice was a little sad. It's better if you don't come see me. What do you mean by that? Little darling, I've been thinking about you all the time. The man gently hugged Lu Warner's waist. Lu Wanner did not resist. But work is too busy. After I graduated, I've been working hard and putting my career first. With that, the man hooked Lu Wanner's chin and looked at her, as if he was going to kiss her in the next second. I'll help you hang up your coat. Lu Wanner was a little flustered. She quickly picked up the coat that the man threw to the side and walked to the clothes rack. Wanner, is Shinsha not here today? Well, if she was here, would you still dare to come? Lu Wanner asked. Why wouldn't I dare to come? In any case, I'm going to marry you. The boy said firmly. You're my everything. I can't survive without you. You are a man of ambition. How can you say such things? Lu Wanner hung up the clothes, and the man walked over from behind and hugged her waist. My career is important, but you are more important. I don't like anyone but you. When I succeed in my career, I'll marry you, okay? Yes. Lu Wanner's heart warmed. At this time, the wallet in the man's clothes suddenly fell out and landed on the ground. It was directly opened in front of Lu Wanner, and there was a photo inside. Lu Wanner's body froze, and the man hurriedly explained. No, it's not what you think. It's just for fun. Really? Lu Wanner smiled bitterly as she took out the photo and pointed at the row of small words below. Zhao Ping and Lu Li, taken in August 2016, Life of Love. In other words, you graduated 2 years ago and got married last month. I should congratulate you. No, based on our relationship, I should give you a red packet. It's not like that. Let me explain. What else is there to explain? Lu Wanner pushed Zhao Ping, who was in front of her. I met you when I was a freshman. You were like this. At that time, you were two-timing, and I turned a blind eye to it. I thought it was your charm. Plus, you begged me, and I forgave you. But today, you still made such a mistake. Although I like you, I'm not a fool. You're like this. You made the same mistake in the past, and you'll make the same mistake in the future. She took 2 steps back and pointed at the door. Zhao Ping. Actually, I've thought about a lot. Let's break up. When Lu Wanner said this, she looked calm, but in fact, her palms were already bleeding from her fingernails. The last bit of fantasy she had about this relationship had dissipated just like that. I don't have any feelings for her. Zhao Ping continued to explain. She's the daughter of the company's boss. She likes me and forces me to marry her. I have no choice. I want to make my career bigger, Wanner. That way, I can give us the best life. Forces you? How can a woman force you to marry? Zhao Ping, do you still want to use words to coax me? I've always been hesitant to break up with you, but I really like you. I even thought about eloping with you. But this time, you've completely cut off my thoughts. Wanner, don't be angry. Anyway, I'm a man. I'm not at a disadvantage. When I sit in the manager's position, I'll divorce this woman. When that time comes, I'll marry you. The two of us can go abroad for our honeymoon. I can also go to Silicon Valley for further studies. We'll be very happy. Zhao Ping pulled Lu Wanner's hand. Did you forget? We once said that we'll travel the world together. Lu Wanner slapped Zhao Ping's hand away. Put away your sweet words and leave this place. Let's leave a good impression on each other, okay? No, I don't agree to break up. Zhao Ping shouted and pressed down on Lu Wanner's shoulder. I'm going to get a promotion and a raise soon. Wait for me. Wait for me, okay? Stop messing around. Can't we part on good terms? No. Zhao Ping looked at Lu Wanner in front of him. You're mine. You'll always be mine. I've treated you so well. If you want to break up, that's impossible. I'll take you right here. I'll make you pregnant with my child. Let's see how you're going to split it. As Zhao Ping spoke, he pushed Lu Wanner onto the yoga board and pounced on her like a wolf or a tiger. Lu Wanner was completely dumbfounded. She didn't expect that the usually cultured and refined Zhao Ping would actually be so crazy today. He did that kind of thing and still wanted to hurt her? Did he really like her? Lu Wanner's body didn't move at all. She let Zhao Ping tear off her clothes. She still hadn't reacted. The collapse of her worldview had made her like a corpse. Watch me fuck you to death. Who asked you to pretend in front of me? After being in love for so long, the two of them had only kissed once. Lu Wanner meant that they could only do that kind of thing when they were married. This time, Zhao Ping couldn't wait any longer. He must get this pure and holy woman. Just as Zhao Ping was about to succeed, someone suddenly grabbed him from behind. Like a little chick, he was thrown out. Bam! Zhao Ping was thrown to the door. He cursed loudly. Who the fuck dares to touch me? He raised his head and saw a bare-chested young man standing in front of Lu Wanner. He was putting Zhao Ping's jacket on Lu Wanner's body. All right, I was wondering why you wanted to break up. So you're secretly hiding a gigolo. Chapter 1005. Zhao Ping cursed. You still have the nerve to despise me? You shameless broken shoe. Li Fan walked in front of him and directly slapped Zhao Ping's face. Zhao Ping's body instantly spun and flew out, directly smashing the large wardrobe next to him. His whole body was lying in the wood fragments. A sharp pain came. He screamed again and again and lost the strength to curse. Senior sister, how should we deal with him? Li Fan asked the pale Lu Wanner. Throw him out. I don't want to see him again. Okay. Li Fan picked up Zhao Ping and threw him out of the apartment as if he was throwing garbage. Zhao Ping, having seen how powerful Li Fan was, no longer dared to act rashly. He lay outside for a while and then left. I'll let you see a joke. After Li Fan helped Lu Wanner to the sofa, she smiled bitterly and did not even dare to look at Li Fan. She only laughed at herself. Senior sister, don't take it to heart. Who didn't like a few bastards when they were young? Li Fan comforted her. I've been with him for 2 years. Lu Wanner sat on the sofa. A lot of her clothes were torn, especially the stockings on her legs, which were torn to shreds. Her skin was particularly good, especially her appearance like Lin Daiyu, which made men feel even more tenderness towards her. Li Fan usually did not pay attention to Lu Wanner, but her figure seemed to be very good. It seems that the one practicing yoga should be her, right? Fuck, what am I thinking? Li Fan suddenly felt guilty. Lu Wanner was his senior sister. She had just experienced such a thing, and he had this kind of thought about her. This was too much. Li Fan told himself not to let his imagination run wild and to concentrate on comforting his senior sister. Is he your senior? Yes. Lu Wanner nodded. I admire his talent, and I appreciate his dedication. But I did not expect that the person he loves the most is himself. It's not worth getting angry over scum like him. Li Fan was not good at persuading people. He could only pat Lu Wanner's back stiffly, racking his brain to think of the right words to persuade her. As the saying goes, 3-legged toads can't be found, but 3-legged men can be found everywhere. What are you talking about? Lu Wanner was originally quite sad, but after hearing what Li Fan said, she didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Li Fan, you really don't know how to persuade a girl. I really don't know how to persuade people. Li Fan said honestly, I'm not good at this. I'm sorry to disappoint you. What's there to be disappointed about? Lu Wanner felt helpless. Whoever likes you in the future will have a headache. Li Fan thought for a moment. There were still many people who liked him. All of them were indeed having a headache. Senior sister, what do you want to eat? I'll buy some for you. Li Fan thought about it. Girls seemed to like to eat when they were angry. Lu Wanner was a bit speechless. I'm already like this. Do I still have the appetite to eat? And then I really don't know what to do. How about I sing for you? Do you sing as well as Shun Shun? Of course not. Then how about I listen to Shun Shun sing? She's not here right now. Humph. Lu Wanner was actually a bit tsundere. Li Fan thought that he was a bit too awesome. To be able to make Lu Wanner so tsundere, it was quite amazing. Forget it. Look at you, you're just a silly boy. If I count on you to make me happy, I might as well raise a dog. Fuck, senior sister. If you put it that way, I won't be happy. Li Fan suddenly lost his temper. Do you want to be happy? I'll bring you to play something exciting. Do you want to? It's the middle of the night, and you want to take me on a roller coaster. It's much more exciting than a roller coaster. Li Fan suddenly reached out and directly embraced Lu Wanner in his arms. What are you doing? Lu Wanner was a bit surprised and looked at Li Fan with a puzzled look. I'll bring you to show off and bring you to fly. Li Fan said and blew a breath toward the window. A gust of true qi blew out, and the closed window was suddenly blown open. The somewhat damp night wind blew on their faces. Senior sister, hold me tight. Li Fan said, slightly bent his knees and squatted on the ground. What are you doing? Before Lu Wanner could finish her words, Li Fan suddenly jumped up, hugged her, and instantly jumped out of the window. Lu Wanner only felt a gust of wind blowing past her. She screamed and subconsciously tightly hugged Li Fan's neck. Li Fan had already jumped out of the window. Stepping on a street lamp, he turned around and jumped to the second floor of the apartment. Li Fan jumped again, more than 3 meters high, 7 or 8 meters away, and landed on the roof of the opposite building. Like a grasshopper, Li Fan hugged Lu Wanner, jumped over the apartment building, and came to the front of the opposite dormitory building. But this dormitory building was 6 floors high. How could Li Fan jump up to it? As soon as Lu Wanner thought of this, Li Fan had already hugged her and ran for a while. Then he jumped forward and stepped on the wall of the dormitory building with both feet. Li Fan stuck to the wall and used lightness skill as if he was walking on flat ground. He quickly ran along the wall to the roof, then turned over and jumped, easily landing on the roof. Lu Wanner was so nervous that she was afraid that she would suddenly fall to her death. But Li Fan was as steady as Mount Tai. He was like a lightness skill master in novels, jumping between buildings. Finally, Li Fan jumped on a tall tower in City G. There was a cloud below him. This tower was 600 meters high, nicknamed Mini Tower, and was known as the highest tower in the world. This highest place was not open to the public yet. It was also the first time for Lu Wanner to come up here. Li Fan almost kept running against the tower, and in some places, he directly jumped vertically. Li Fan's lightness skill seemed to ignore the gravity. He climbed up the 600-meter-high tower in a short time. At this time, there was a dark gray cloud below the tower, and the ground could not be seen clearly. Li Fan hugged Lu Wanner, and his feet stepped on the railing as thin as 2 fingers, motionless. "Senior sister, do you think this place is exciting enough?" Hearing Li Fan's voice, Lu Wanner looked down and saw the bottomless abyss below. She was so scared that her heart was beating fast. "Li Fan, am I dreaming?" Lu Wanner asked nervously. "No." Li Fan winked at Lu Wanner. "Even if it is a dream, you will wake up soon." "What are you doing?" Lu Wanner had a bad premonition. She almost subconsciously hugged Li Fan's neck. "Sister, have you ever done bungee jumping?" "Stop it." Before Lu Wanner could finish her words, the rest was a scream. Li Fan had already jumped down from the tower, and with Lu Wanner, he almost penetrated the air, falling rapidly to the ground. The surrounding clouds were pierced, and the two fell to the bottom of the tower. Chapter 1006. Lu Wanner seemed to be well-behaved, but in fact, she was a little wild in her heart. Even if her family forbade her to fall in love, she still secretly did it. She was full of hope until she was hurt all over. She had also secretly played bungee jumping, a dangerous game. She fell from the sky, but she was not afraid. Instead, she felt that it was meaningless. She was tied with a safety rope. When she jumped, she knew that she was not in any danger. But it was different this time. Lu Wanner and Li Fan fell from a height of 600 meters together, without any safety measures on their bodies. Wasn't this suicide? She screamed at the beginning, but halfway down, Lu Wanner suddenly had an epiphany. What was there to be afraid of? If she was doomed to die, why not seize the moment to enjoy the beautiful scenery? Lu Wanner felt the speed of her falling, and at the same time, looked at the city's night view around. The lights were connected, illuminating the prosperity of the whole city. Even the stars in the sky were afraid of such light, hiding behind the dark clouds, not daring to come out. Embrace the beautiful scenery. Embrace death. Lu Wanner was surprisingly quiet at the last moment. But Li Fan did not want to fall to his death. When he fell the last 100 meters, the true chi in his body flew out, forming a parachute, catching the air, and instantly buffering the speed of their fall. She obviously felt her body was pulled, and then the falling speed became slower. Lu Wanner was a little surprised, opened her eyes, and looked at Li Fan. "Really? I'm not dreaming, right?" "Of course not." Li Fan said slowly. "Is it exciting, senior sister?" "You. Who are you?" Lu Wanner regained her senses little by little. When falling, she looked at Li Fan and asked, "I'm your junior brother." Li Fan answered simply, "It's just a little bit of self-defense." "You call this self-defense?" Lu Wanner did not believe it at all. "Is this the legendary Qinggong?" "Senior sister, I just wanted to make you happy, so I showed it in front of you." Li Fan gently landed on the water tower of a building. Below was the night market. There was no night in City G, and people were eating everywhere. City G was famous for its food. The streets were full of food stalls, and all kinds of delicious food filled both sides of the street. Standing on the water tower, Li Fan could already smell the fragrance. Let's talk while we eat, Lu Wanner's stomach growled as well. She looked at Li Fan with a blush on her face. Sure, what do you want to eat? Let me take you to try our rice noodle roll. Lu Wanner recommended. It's very delicious. Sure. Li Fan nodded, found an empty corner, and jumped down. Fortunately, he wore his shirt when he went out. Otherwise, Li Fan wouldn't be able to meet people with his bare arms. On the other hand, Lu Wanner was even more straightforward. She directly tore off all her stockings and simply wrapped her 2 long legs in shorts. Even Li Fan could not help but take a few more glances. Is it nice? Lu Wanner asked. It's nice. No, it's okay. No. Well, you're good at yoga, and your figure is exquisite. Li Fan sorted out his words for a long time, but he was almost tricked by this woman. Hee, that's more like it. You're honest. Lu Wanner was satisfied. She took the initiative to pull Li Fan's sleeve and squeezed into the crowd of the night market with him. There were too many people in the night market. If they were not careful, they would be pushed away by the crowd. Lu Wanner simply took Li Fan's arm so that they wouldn't be separated. She felt that Li Fan's body was very strong, and the people around him couldn't push him away at all. So she simply stuck to Li Fan and let Li Fan open the way. Senior, I don't know where it is. Ahead, turn right, and you'll be there. How do you know? Just by smelling it. Lu Wanner said without raising her head. There were too many people, and she didn't want to look at them. Although it was a little pretentious, sometimes she really wanted to find someone to lean on quietly. Unfortunately, Zhao Ping wasn't that kind of person. She still had to walk her own path in the future. Excuse me, thank you. Li Fan used his own body to protect Lu Wanner, and they walked to the front of the food stall selling rice noodle roll. Li Fan thought that this rice noodle roll was made with pig intestines, but he realized that he had misunderstood. This thing was more like a kind of pasta. It'll be very delicious after you pour some soy sauce on it. Lu Wanner ordered 2 servings of rice noodle roll and didn't mind sitting on a dirty chair. The boss next door, can you give us a shrimp and crab porridge? Okay, wait a moment. Okay, can you tell me now? While waiting to eat, Lu Wanner asked Li Fan, can you reintroduce yourself? Lu Wanner looked at Li Fan very seriously. My name is Li Fan, a freshman in G University, majoring in Mandarin as a foreign language. Li Fan emphasized, I want to be a teacher abroad in the future. That's not enough. Lu Wanner looked at Li Fan carefully and unconsciously moved closer, sticking very close to Li Fan. Mysterious Junior, where did you come from? Actually, it's very simple. I'm a person who practices martial arts. Li Fan gave a simple introduction. It's the kind of martial arts you see in wuxia novels. You really have Qigong? Didn't you see it with your own eyes? I still can't believe it. Lu Wanner gently rubbed her temples. Unbelievable. Am I not awake yet? Then go back to sleep. I'll eat alone. No way. This meal is on me, but I was in a hurry and didn't bring any money. You pay for me first, I'll pay you tomorrow. It's just a small thing, I'll pay. No. How can I let a junior treat me to a meal? Lu Wanner shook her head. Let me do it. All right. Can I sign up for your martial arts society? Of course you can. Li Fan ate the piping hot shrimp and crab porridge. Needless to say, this thing was really delicious. The porridge had the aroma of shrimp and crab, but it didn't have any fishy smell, which was really rare. Can I learn Qigong too? Sure. Li Fan nodded. Based on your age, you're not suitable to learn martial arts. But with my Qi, although you won't have much success, if you work hard, it won't be a problem for you to reach perfection. I feel like I'm being despised. Lu Wanner sighed. I'm really old. No, senior sister is still young, but you have to start practicing martial arts at the age of 4 or 5. You definitely won't be able to learn normal martial arts, but mine won't be a problem. Sounds like a multi-level marketing. Fuck, it really isn't. I'm not charging you. Then it's more like it. Chapter 1007. After tasting the night snack in G City, Li Fan sent Lu Xiaowan back to the dormitory. Different from the time Li Fan scheduled, it was already past 11 o'clock in the evening. Lu Xiaowan seemed to be aware of the time. She glanced at the clock hanging on the wall and then said to Li Fan, "The dormitory is closed. The dormitory is closed. You can stay here tonight." Ah, Li Fan was a little shocked. Is senior sister inviting me to live together? Shinshin won't be back today anyway. You can sleep on the sofa. Li Fan was even more puzzled. What logic is this? Why can I sleep on the sofa if Shinshin doesn't come back? Shouldn't I sleep in her room? You brat. How can you sleep in a girl's room as soon as you come? Lu Xiaowan couldn't help but laugh at Li Fan. Besides, you know Shinshin's temper. She doesn't allow other boys to sleep in her room. Senior sister, can you sleep in Shinshin's room? Can I sleep in your room? I'm a bit picky about my bed. Lu Xiaowan sighed. If we change rooms, I'm afraid I can't sleep. Li Fan had all kinds of black question marks on his head. Well, it seems that I'm destined to sleep on the sofa tonight. I'll go back to the dormitory to sleep. The windows on the balcony are usually not closed. Li Fan said, I'll go to the balcony. Are you crazy? How do you know that your dormitory is asleep? If someone sees you jump in from the 5th floor, they'll be scared and faint. That's true. Okay then. Li Fan said that since they were all at school, it was not a problem for him to sleep in the apartment. He just didn't know if Zhao Yingjun and the others covered for him when they checked the dormitory. These guys, I hope they'll work harder. Here, don't catch a cold tonight. Lu Xiaowan took out a blanket for Li Fan. My dear president, take good care of your body. Senior sister, don't make fun of me. Senior sister is in a bad mood tonight. Who else should I make fun of but you? Lu Wanner asked, leaving Li Fan speechless. All right, I'm willing to sacrifice my life for you. Li Fan also changed quickly. You're worth teaching. Lu Wanner stretched out her hand and gently touched Li Fan's forehead. Including me. Your club officially has 5 members, right? That's right, but for the sake of the activity classroom, we still have to break through the 30-person threshold. Yes, I hope the publicity will be effective. Lu Wanna nodded. When we have 30 people, I'll help you apply for an activity room. When the time comes, we'll get a bigger one for us. Otherwise, we won't be able to display our skills. Senior sister, you're so good to me. I don't know how to repay you. Li Fan was a little touched. When he went to university, Lu Wanner helped him a lot. What are you talking about? You're my junior, so I should take care of you. Lu Wanner immediately said, and about Zhongguo's matter, I'm the one who caused you trouble. All right, has he been giving you any trouble lately? No, he probably doesn't remember such a small character like me. Your Qinggong is indeed amazing, but I don't know how your fighting skills are. Lu Wanner reminded Li Fan. Even if your fighting skills are amazing, it's still the era of firearms. Zhongguo's family has power and influence. I'm afraid that if you provoke him, he might hire people to shoot you. That wouldn't be good. That Zhongguo has the guts? Li Fan didn't quite believe it. He has been spoiled by his family. Lu Wanner sighed. The current Zhongguo was no longer the person she knew before. It's better to stay away from him. If he gives you trouble again, just tell me. I'll help you deal with it. Got it. Thank you, senior sister, for your concern. Although Li Fan agreed verbally, he did not agree to this matter in his heart. Since when did he have to use a woman to protect him? Zhongguo had long been dispelled by him. Who knew where he was recuperating? It's very late. I won't disturb you anymore. Go to sleep. Lu Wanner covered the sofa with a new bed sheet. If you're thirsty, go get some water from the fridge. No need to be polite. Just treat it like your own home. Li Fan said, who would sleep on the sofa in their own home. This era was too unfair to men. Go to sleep. I'm going to sleep too. Do your best for tomorrow's promotion. Lu Wanner instructed Li Fan a few more words before returning to her room. AI, every time I sleep with a girl, it seems like I can't sleep on the same bed. Li Fan let out a long sigh and threw himself on the sofa. Not to mention, the sofa's material was not bad. It was much more comfortable than the metal bed in Li Fan's dormitory. Although people who practice martial arts like to sleep on hard beds, the iron window in Li Fan's dormitory was not only hard, but there were also all kinds of strange protrusions on it. Although there was a layer of cushion, It was not comfortable to sleep. Li Fan wanted to flatten these protrusions, but he was afraid that he would not control his strength and damage the bed. Good night. Lu Wanner sent a WeChat voice message to Li Fan. Good night, senior. If it were anyone else, they would be excited to death to chat with Lu Wanner on WeChat. But Li Fan was different. He did not lack girls, and he did not chase after Lu Wanner. Right now, Li Fan's thoughts were all on his martial arts club. I hope I can have 30 people soon. Li Fan imagined himself training his students in the club. He could not help but look forward to it. Then he slowly fell asleep. Just as Li Fan was worrying about the club, someone else was worrying about him. Zhang Guo sat on the hospital bed, looking at his bionic leg that looked exactly like his real leg. He was speechless for a long time. Try standing up. Jiang Feng once again came to Zhang Guo's ward. He stood by the side with his arms crossed and a mask covering his face as he spoke slowly. Zhang Guo slowly stood up. His body was trembling slightly, and he subconsciously held onto the bed next to him. Stand up like a man, Jiang Feng shouted. Zhang Guo was scared out of his wits, and, in the end, he actually stood up. He was shocked. After taking 2 steps, he realized that he was no different from a normal person. He was immediately overjoyed. This leg, it's great. It's just like the real thing. It's just like the real thing. Jiang Feng's voice was full of sarcasm. This thing is a technology created by several countries. What you're using is just a small part of it. Nano, cloning, bionic. Almost all the terms you could think of had appeared on this thing. Just this leg alone is worth $10 million US. Remember to transfer it to my account. Jiang Feng placed a slip of paper with his account number on the table. All right, this leg of mine is worth 10 million. Zhang Guo agreed immediately. Money is not a problem. The problem is another one, right? Jiang Feng pointed out. This time, can we talk about cooperation? Chapter 1008. How should I kill Li Fan? Although his leg had basically recovered, Zhang Guo's hatred for Li Fan had not decreased at all. He's very strong. Jiang Feng's expression was grave. Even if I don't want to admit it, I have to face his strength. Just relying on us, we can't kill him. But you know someone from the Takeda family, this is a lot more advantageous for us. What do you need me to do? Go and invite a person called Takeda. Are you crazy? He's the strongest person in the Takeda family. Even Zhang Guo could not help but suck in a breath of cold air when he heard this name. Takeda was the strongest man in the Takeda family. He had always lived in seclusion in Mount Fuji and rarely went out. It was said that this person was a martial arts fanatic and was also a national treasure of the Japan. What ability did he have to invite him? You think too highly of me. I can't invite this person. You don't need to invite him. You just need to find someone to pass a message to him. Jiang Feng smiled confidently. As long as you find someone to tell him that the little tyrant Li Fan is in your school, he will definitely come to find you immediately. Really? What makes you so confident? It sounds very sarcastic. Jiang Feng let out a long sigh. I'm not confident, but I believe in Li Fan's strength. Is this man so troublesome? Think about your right leg. Jiang Feng glanced at Zhang Guo's right leg, causing Zhang Guo's anger to rise again. Good, since you and I don't need to do anything. That's naturally the best. The Japanese are very strong. Using them to get rid of our opponents is the best plan. The Japanese are very strong. Jiang Feng sneered. Some of us are stronger than them. It's just that these people are either hiding or have their hands and feet tied. China still has strong people? Zhang Guo did not seem to believe it. You don't even believe in your own country. What else can you believe in? Jiang Feng somewhat looked down on Zhang Guo. Although he needed Zhang Guo's strength, this person was like an idiot in some aspects. There's nothing left in this country. Only money and power are the most important. For Zhang Guo, the exchange of money and power was what he saw every day. The simplest question is, who can make the strongest Takeda warrior come to China? Jiang Feng reprimanded Zhang Guo. If we want to deal with our enemy, we must first know how strong he is. When Takeda and Li Fan fight, you'd better watch. What's so interesting about martial artists fighting? Zhang Guo was unconvinced. No matter how powerful a martial artist is, he still has to serve us. His words left Jiang Feng speechless. He secretly clenched his fists. He had acknowledged the enemy as his father and trained hard, but in the end he was still serving these fucking people in power. So what if it was Morong Bo? He looked high-spirited, but didn't he still want to lick the feet of those in power? One day I, Jiang Feng, will trample everyone under my feet. By the way, since we're allies, I still don't know how to address you. Zhang Wu looked at Jiang Feng and asked, "You call me Azura, an Azura from hell?" Zhang Wu carefully looked at Jiang Feng. "Fine, then I'll call you Azura. No matter what, you healed one of my legs. I will definitely repay you for this favor. We're just using each other. There's no need to care about our friendship." Jiang Feng reminded, "I don't like to owe others favors. Then do as you wish." The two of them discussed the countermeasures and prepared to make a move on Li Fan. On the other side, Li Fan officially began his university life. The four of them woke up early in the morning because the English class building was far away. They didn't buy an electric scooter, so they could only choose to walk. The school also provided students with an electric scooter. It was a small bus that could seat about 10 students at a time. But the boss, Wang Yang, was reluctant to spend this money. They could only accompany him all the way. They climbed up to the 6th floor, panting. Zhao Yingjun was still complaining. "Big brother, my good big brother, can we be more generous next time? Let's take an electric scooter. I'm so tired that I've lost weight. Just treat it as a diet." Wang Yang comforted him. "I've lost enough weight during military training. Besides, the more I exercise, the more I eat." Zhao Yingjun scowled. "I don't want to eat like this anymore. Actually, before I left today, I did a divination." Wang Yang suddenly became serious. "It's not good to take a car today. Get the fuck out of here. The Book of Changes is for your family." Zhao Yingjun was furious. "Anyway, I won't go with you tomorrow. I'll take a car myself. How about I'll pay for everyone's daily transportation expenses?" Xiang said. "Good brother. This is my good brother." Wang Yang was overjoyed. He hugged Xiang's neck. "Big brother will treat you well in the future." "Xiang, you'll spoil big brother too much," Zhao Yingjun reminded. "He's getting more and more excessive." "TCH, that's because you don't understand big brother's love for you guys. His concubine can't do it. Stop arguing. We're almost at the classroom." Li Fan mumbled. "Second brother, did you have a good time last night?" "Go away. Nothing happened last night. I went to the internet cafe to book a room." Only a ghost would believe that. The few of them bickered as they pushed the door open and entered the classroom. English was the main subject. All 4 classes of the major were here. When Li Fan came in, he attracted a lot of attention. He was Shun Chen's rumored boyfriend and punched dozens of sophomores. Even if Li Fan wanted to keep a low profile now, he couldn't. He's Li Fan. He doesn't look that good. Why would Shin Chen like him? He's so thin and weak. How can he beat 20 or 30 sophomores? Nonsense, right? Li Fan? He's not that good. As soon as Li Fan came in, he heard the people around him talking about him in low voices. Their voices were not loud. They were just chatting to the left and right, but Li Fan could hear them clearly. He pretended not to hear them. "I heard that our English teacher is a young girl." Zhao Yingjun had always grasped information about women very quickly. "It's the same for both genders," Wang Yang said with a serious face. "Moreover, there's no proof. What evidence do you have?" "Damn, the teacher will be here soon. Take a look yourself. I guarantee you won't be willing to skip class." Really? The few of them were a little curious. How beautiful could this female teacher be? The most important thing is that she's said to have big breasts. Zhao Yingjun added, "Sometimes, a female teacher can increase the student's desire to attend class." Wang Yang coughed twice. Li Fan didn't take it seriously. These people were too thirsty. Had they never seen a beautiful teacher before? When he was in high school, he saw one every day. Just as Li Fan thought of this, a big-breasted female teacher pushed the door open and entered. All the boys' gazes were attracted. So beautiful. Wang Yang couldn't help but say, "I really want to have a go with her." Zhao Yingjun was a little restless. Even the direction of his gaze was fixed on this female teacher, unwilling to turn his eyes away. Li Fan was stunned. Chapter 1009. Hello everyone. I will be your English teacher from now on. My name is Liao Wushuang. Li Fan was dumbfounded. This girl actually applied for a job at G University? He didn't know if it was because Liao Wushuang was powerful or because she was capable, but she actually applied to be an English lecturer at G University and stood in front of Li Fan. We're about the same age. You could just call me Wushuang from now on. Teacher Wushuang is so beautiful. Oh my God, there are so many beautiful girls in our school. Who should I date? Zhao Yingjun was full of fantasy. Beautiful twins, beautiful female teacher, beautiful senior. Big brother, my selective syndrome is acting up. You're not selective syndrome acting up. You're delusional. Wang Yang patted Zhao Yingjun's head. What nonsense are you thinking about? I did a divination. Your future wife has the back of a bear and the waist of a tiger with a mouth full of chest hair. You should focus on the lesson. Fuck your grandpa. My grandpa really has the back of a bear and the waist of a tiger with a mouth full of chest hair. Do you want introduction? Zhao Yingjun lost to Wang Yang every time they quarreled. Li Fan and Xiang Dong just watched from the side. But today, Li Fan couldn't watch the show because the person they were talking about was Liao Wushuang. What happened to starting a new life? Why were all the people around him people he knew? Lin Yixin came. Liao Wushuang also came. Today is the first time I'm meeting everyone. I'm very happy. Liao Wushuang looked at the people below the stage. Then her eyes finally fell on Li Fan. I just came back from studying abroad. I'm looking forward to a teacher-student relationship when I get to university. Liao Wushuang's words almost ignited the emotions of all the boys below. Teacher, what's your 3 measurements? Teacher, add me on WeChat. Teacher, I want to be your boyfriend. The group of boys started shouting, making Li Fan unhappy. This girl, Liao Wushuang, is she here to show off? This girl, does she think I'm afraid of her? Li Fan thought for a long time. It seemed like he really couldn't do anything to her for the time being. Zhao Yingjun pushed Li Fan with all his might and said excitedly, Second brother, look, Teacher Liao is looking at me. Has she fallen in love with me? Wake up. Li Fan really didn't want to bother with Zhao Yingjun. This man who only thought with his lower body was already full of lust. I'll take a roll call first to get to know everyone. Liao Wushuang picked up the roster and began to call the names one by one. It was the first day of school, but no one dared to skip class. They all sat in class obediently. Wang Ying, here. Wang Ying stood up, and Liao Wushuang quickly pressed her hand down. You don't have to stand up. We're already in university. There aren't so many rules. Just raise your hand. Liao Wushuang glanced at Wang Ying. Are you the class monitor? Yes, Teacher Liao. Wang Ying also looked at Liao Wushuang's pair of big breasts with some envy. This woman, how could her figure be so good? Okay, let's talk more in the future. Liao Wushuang continued to call names and soon called Li Fan's name. Li Fan? Here. Li Fan somewhat lazily raised his right hand. This student, why do you look so listless? Did you go out to fight last night? Liao Wushuang asked with a smile. I didn't sleep well and made teacher worried. Well, pay attention to your rest in the future. Liao Wushuang said, I know you've just arrived at the university and feel strange about everything here. Especially when you're a freshman, you like to play. However, after playing for a year, you're almost bored. Don't forget to communicate with your relatives and friends at home. They're likely to miss you. After Liao Wushuang intentionally or unintentionally said that, Li Fan's forehead had a little cold sweat. This girl, she's definitely talking about him. Right, Li Fan, from now on, you'll be the English class representative. Liao Wushuang suddenly added a sentence. Does the university also have a class representative? No, but I like to appoint one. Liao Wushuang squinted her eyes at Li Fan. Can I? Of course. Teacher is mighty and domineering. Li Fan was helpless. Once Liao Wushuang becomes invincible, her combat effectiveness soars. Although Liao Wushuang was a bit mischievous this time, her teaching level is still there. In her class, almost all the students listened with relish. She was even more skillful in the university class. From time to time, she would tell some stories about British customs, attracting everyone's attention. Li Fan also listened with interest, feeling that having a teacher like Liao Wushuang seems to be good. But this girl, didn't she say before that she doesn't support teacher-student relationship? Why did she change her routine today? There's still 10 minutes. Let's talk about you. Liao Wushuang suddenly lowered her head and looked at the students. Let me know a little bit about you. 4 years in the university actually passed very quickly. Let's talk about what you want to do after graduation. What do you think? Chatting with a beautiful teacher. This matter is definitely popular. All the students had no objection and unanimously agreed. Wang Ying, you're the class monitor. Why don't you say it first? I want to go abroad. Wang Ying hesitated for a moment, then said, I want to go abroad to develop, to teach Chinese culture to those ignorant foreigners, so that they can understand Chinese culture and also understand China's current development state. Yes, I support you. Liao Wushuang nodded, then asked a few more questions, and then asked Wang Yang. Wang Yang, what do you want to do after graduation? I also want to go abroad. Wang Yang is full of ambition for the future. I want to go abroad to do divination for foreigners and earn their money. The people in the room were speechless. Wang Yang, this fraud. You, I don't want to comment. Liao Wushuang glanced at Zhao Yingjun, who was laughing unscrupulously at the side. Zhao Yingjun, right? You also want to go abroad? I have this idea. After I learn English, I want to go abroad to marry a foreign wife and fight for Chinese men's honor. Liao Wushuang suddenly felt that Wang Yang's idea is quite reliable. Li Fan, what about you? I want to go abroad to open a martial arts school. Li Fan said his dream. I want to go abroad to promote Chinese Kung Fu. This is really a lunatic's dream. This Li Fan, is there something wrong with his brain? What an interesting idea. The sounds of discussion in the surroundings rang out again. It was trivial and annoying. But Li Fan ignored them. He's a dragon and tiger. How can he lower himself to the level of small fish and shrimp? We are the same. Second brother. Wang Yang excitedly held Li Fan's hand. We are all going abroad to promote Chinese ancient culture. Li Fan was very speechless. You chose a very difficult road. Liao Wushuang looked at Li Fan, her eyes dignified. But I will always support you. Chapter 10:10. After Liao Wushuang said this meaningful sentence, the class was dismissed. The next class was the history of foreign literature. Compared to Liao Wushuang's class, it was much more boring. Li Fan was drowsy. When he woke up, the class was over. Li Fan followed his roommates to the cafeteria for lunch. When he entered the cafeteria, he noticed that many students were looking at him strangely. What's going on? Li Fan couldn't figure it out. He tugged at him and pointed to the wall beside him. Li Fan looked up and suddenly realized there were several posters pasted on the walls of the cafeteria. On the poster was a shirtless Li Fan with his face slightly tilted to the side, revealing his back. On the poster was a vivid picture of a tyrant subduing a tiger. It was ready to go and had a domineering air about it. That tattoo is so cool. Zhao Yingjun exclaimed, but I've never seen it on your back before. Did you Photoshop it? Yeah. Li Fan answered vaguely and continued to look at the poster. On it was written, Martial Arts Society recruits, fight for the nation's honor. Fight for the nation's honor. These words were too exaggerated. But it was also because of these words that Li Fan felt his blood boiling. Lu Wanner was very smart. Her words had a hidden meaning. Those who were observant could see that it was directed at the 3 big societies. But Li Fan didn't say it out loud. He would trample those 3 societies sooner or later anyway. Is he Li Fan? He should be the president of the Martial Arts Society? Do you want to join the fun? Forget it. Chinese martial arts are useless. It's all a lie. He might as well learn Taekwondo. It's so cool. That's true. Listening to the discussion of the people around him, Li Fan held back the anger in his heart. Lu Wanner was amazing. Wouldn't she be punished for putting up posters in so many places in the school? It was probably because of her authority as the head of publicity. It was indeed different. Li Fan hurriedly ate his lunch and then went to look for Jiang Yuan and the others. Lin Yuichisen was busy with the second round of student council interviews today, so she couldn't come. President, you're finally here? Jiang Yuan and the others stood in front of the recruitment counter and waved at Li Fan. Today, the 2 of them did not wear cosplay clothes, and the beautiful sisters finally showed their different sides. Jiang Yuan wore a red t-shirt with the logo of the Liberty Wings printed on it. She wore a pair of short black hot pants, revealing her long, slender, white legs. She wore a pair of American blue canvas shoes on her feet. It was so eye-catching that it was hard to take one's eyes off her. She had short, ear-length hair with bangs that looked very much like rims. Although Jiang Yuan's breasts were big, her legs were long. She stood there and blew a kiss to Li Fan. Jiang Fangfang, on the other hand, was wearing a simple white dress and white shoes. She had long hair that was like a waterfall and had a red butterfly hairpin in her hair. She didn't even dare to raise her head to greet Li Fan. She was even more shy than Li Fan. However, her breasts were bigger than her sister's, which was enough to distinguish the two of them. "You didn't cosplay today?" Li Fan said as he placed the lunch box he bought from the cafeteria on the table and handed it to the beautiful sisters. "No, the animation club doesn't need us to recruit new members today." Jiang Yuan tore open the packaging of the lunchbox and complained, "Actually, they wanted us to go today. But we won't work for them for free. Do you think we're stupid? When you're out on an activity, you can earn 500 yuan per trip. Is your mouth the waist of cotton pants?" Jiang Fangfang angrily tugged at her sister. "How did you tell others, the president isn't an outsider? At most, I'll let it be my brother-in-law, and this secret won't get out, right?" Ugly rejected. Jiang Fangfang's words once again killed Li Fan. "You two don't drag me into this mess." Actually, it's nothing." Jiang Yuan giggled and explained, "It's just that during the summer, we often sneak out to be models and go to events to earn some pocket money. Our families don't know, but if they do, we're doomed." The average height of the two sisters was more than 7 meters. They were definitely long-legged beauties. "Aya, why did you put carrots in?" "I said I don't want carrots." Jiang Yuan pouted at Li Fan. "You can't be picky. Especially as martial artists, we must have a balanced diet." Li Fan reminded Jiang Yuan. "No way, I'm well-nourished. By the way, Jiang Fangfang, can I ask you something?" Li Fan suddenly turned his head and looked at the older twin sister. You ask, what did you eat growing up? Why do you have breasts while your sister doesn't?" "Bastard president." Jiang Yuan angrily waved her hand to express her anger. "I've hit you. I drink milk every day." Jiang Fangfang generously explained, Yuan has been a picky eater since young. "No wonder you have to drink more milk, classmate Yuan." Li Fan reminded Jiang Yuan. "Humph, it's too late to drink now." Jiang Yuan curled her lips. "Drink Saint Chi? This brand has fallen a long time ago, okay?" All right, be serious. We're recruiting new members." Li Fan said seriously, "What will happen if others come and see it?" The two sisters were speechless. This person, too shameless. "Come on, I hope the president can put in some effort with your poster." Jiang Yuan said and pasted the poster that Lu Wan made for Li Fan on the table. "President, do you really have such a tattoo on your back? It doesn't look like it's photoshopped. Could it be that you drew it later? Do you want to see?" Li Fan teased the two of them. Jiang Fangfang was startled and quickly turned her head away. Jiang Yuan directly stretched out her hand, wanting to tear off Li Fan's clothes. Okay, let me see." You calm down." Li Fan was startled. This Jiang Yuan was too unrestrained. "I better not tease her in the future. I can't handle her." The president said, "You're so powerful. How come you can't do it now?" Jiang Yuan's words always had ambiguities. Li Fan found it particularly grating. "Someone's coming." Jiang Fangfang reminded the two of them. The two of them were just joking, but now they immediately became serious and sat up straight. The next day, the poster seemed to have some effect. A few students really came to sign up. "President, I think you're very handsome." A freshman seemed to worship Li Fan. "Last time on the sports field, I saw you beat up a few sophomore sports students. That was really exciting." "Yeah, President, please teach us more." The other was also a freshman, a girl. The way she looked at Li Fan was obviously not right. But Li Fan looked at her waist that was thicker than a water tank and decided to give up on the idea of deep contact with her for the time being. This afternoon, Li Fan's martial arts club recruited 3 new members. More newcomers came and were looking at the registration form. But at this moment, 4 men in kimonos walked towards them. Chapter 10:11. The troublemakers are here. Jiang Yuan was a little worried when she saw them. President, we're counting on you. The Taekwondo Club. One of the club members was a little worried. They don't seem to have good intentions. We're just a small club. They won't come looking for trouble, will they? The second club member muttered. Joining a club, won't be dangerous. What's there to be afraid of? Jiang Yuan couldn't help but curse. We're from the martial arts club. Why should we be afraid of the Taekwondo Club? Don't worry, the great president is strong. He will protect us. Li Fan was very helpless. This girl, he didn't know whether to praise her or give her a warning. Yuan has a point. In front of everyone, Li Fan could only praise her. If there's any problem, I'll solve it. After Li Fan said this, everyone's mood relaxed a little. At this moment, the 4 people opposite them walked over. These 4 people were not small. The leader was the tallest, at least one. 9 meters, with a fierce face. When he walked, the ground seemed to tremble slightly. The main reason was because this person was too strong. He weighed more than 100 kilograms, but he didn't look fat. He was very strong. He looks like a small mountain. The new club member couldn't help but sigh. Huang Biao. Jiang Fangfang directly reported his name. Taekwondo club member, 2nd year. Although he only learned Taekwondo for a year, he's already a red belt expert. You seem to be familiar with them. Li Fan was a little surprised. My sister has studied all the information of the 3 big clubs. Jiang Yuan seemed even more proud. Awesome, right? It's not like you memorized it. What are you so proud of? Li Fan couldn't help but reach out and scratch Jiang Yuan's little nose. Aya, stop it. My nose will collapse. What are you afraid of? Your nose is already very high. You too, stop messing around. Jiang Fangfang's expression turned serious. Let's deal with the trouble in front of us first. Bang! Huang Biao slammed his palm on their recruitment table, causing the lunchbox on the table to bounce. Friend, do you want to sign up? Li Fan asked politely. Registration? Are you kidding me? A Taekwondo club member with a hooked nose yelled at Li Fan. Who do you think you are? How dare you snatch people from our Taekwondo club? Snatch people? Li Fan raised his eyebrows. That's him. The hook-nosed man pointed at the freshman who worshipped Li Fan. He used to be a member of our Taekwondo club, but he left the club and came here. I'm sorry, the freshman said apologetically. I didn't know that Li Fan opened a club, but now that I know, I must come here. But you don't allow me to join 2 clubs, so I can only leave the Taekwondo club. What do you mean? Is Taekwondo not as good as Wushu? The hook-nosed man cursed loudly. At the same time, he raised his leg and kicked the billboard erected by the Martial Arts Society, breaking it. Damn you, Jiang Yuan scolded angrily. Do you know how long we spent to build this billboard? It's useless for a trash club like yours to build a billboard. The hook-nosed man sneered. Seniors, it's not right to speak like this. Li Fan looked at them. Everyone in the school has the right to register for a club, right? Do you guys have the right to decide which club a freshman chooses? It doesn't matter if he joins another club. Clubs that only have martial arts are not allowed. Before the hook-nosed man could speak, Huang Biao had already told Li Fan in a muffled voice. This is the rule of our club. The 3 major clubs are all like this. Really? Li Fan smiled. Luckily, I'm not a member of your 3 major clubs, so the rules have nothing to do with me. Get lost, you guys. Fuck you, you're just a newbie. I think you won't shed a tear until you see the coffin. The hook-nosed man was a little angry. This grandpa will disband your lousy club. As he spoke, he raised his leg and slammed it down on Na Xian's table. It's a standard outfit. Jiang Yuan couldn't help but praise him. But Li Fan suddenly stretched out his hand. Just by sitting there, he used one hand to catch the hook-nosed man's outfit. Li Fan stretched out his hand and pushed the hook-nosed man away. His butt fell to the ground. This senior, if your horse stance is not solid, don't randomly kick. Li Fan reminded him. Otherwise, you might accidentally fall. Trash! Huang Biao scolded him. Then the 2 people beside him also suddenly made their move. These people were here to cause trouble. The 2 of them mercilessly kicked at Li Fan. But Li Fan was still sitting there. He stretched out his hand and grabbed the legs of these two people before pulling them back. Their bodies were dragged out and fell into the flower bed behind Li Fan. Their faces were smashed into the soil. Didn't I remind you earlier? Li Fan smiled. Horse stance is not good. Don't randomly kick or you will fall. Your kung fu is really good, but with this little bit of kung fu, you don't deserve to create a club. Huang Biao said, I will wake you up a bit. With that, Huang Biao directly kicked the leg of Naak Xian's table. But Li Fan stretched out his hands and put them on top of the table. Then he slid back a meter, sucking the table and pulling it back a distance. This table is borrowed from others. Can you be a bit lighter? Li Fan's performance surprised everyone. The twins also looked at each other and saw the surprise in each other's eyes. Really amazing. The freshman who worshipped Li Fan exclaimed, How did you do it? Quickly teach me. What a scam. Huang Biao, who had learned Taekwondo for a year, knew a lot about modern fighting. He thought that Li Fan was just playing some tricks. Go to hell. Huang Biao gave a heavy kick. His body carried the force of this kick and directly rushed toward Li Fan's face. Li Fan was still sitting there steadily. He reached out and put his hand on Huang Biao's ankle. Li Fan pulled his leg down. At the same time, his left hand clenched into a fist and hit Huang Biao's leg. Crack! Huang Biao's leg joint was directly dislocated by Li Fan. He slid backward and fell to the ground. This time, he directly fell on his face. The pain was unbearable. Considering that we are classmates, it's just a dislocation. Li Fan said, Find a bone-setting master and I'll put it back in 3 seconds. Fuck this dog. The hook-nosed man looked at the dislocated Huang Biao and couldn't believe his eyes. Is this a joke? Chapter 10-12. They were originally here to cause trouble for the martial arts club, but now they were beaten into a sorry state instead. The hook-nosed man was on the verge of tears. What kind of situation was this? It was completely different from what they had agreed on. Their Taekwondo club was one of the top 3 clubs in the school, and Huang Biao was a red belt expert. How could they be defeated so easily? This Li Fan, just what kind of power did he have? Wasn't he just a showy but impractical fellow? Go back and have a good talk with your department head. It's up to the club members to decide what club they want to join. His hand has stretched too far. Li Fan, you've messed with the wrong person. Although Huang Biao had a broken leg, his bones were still very strong. Our black belt expert will make sure you don't dare to come to G University. Is that so? Li Fan moved the table back to its original position. His voice was gentle, as if he was talking to a child. I think you guys should think about it more and not be too naughty. Let's make friends through martial arts. If you lose, don't deny it, all right? Let's go back. The other 3 grabbed Huang Biao and dragged him back. Li Fan, this isn't over. The hook-nosed man was still shouting as he walked. And you 2 bitches. Sooner or later, young master will. Before he could finish his sentence, Li Fan appeared in front of him out of nowhere. At the same time, he grabbed his head with one hand and pressed down on his body, pinning him into the soil of the flower bed at the side. Bang! Soil flew everywhere. The hook-nosed man's head was completely embedded in the soil. It's fine if you talk about me. Li Fan's voice was filled with anger. It was as if there was a flame burning in his throat. The next time you dare to talk about my club members, I'll crush your head. This cold voice scared the people around. All of you get lost. Li Fan reached out and pulled the guy's head out of the soil, then threw it in front of Huang Biao and the rest. Don't forget this idiot. The rest of them did not dare to say anything and left with the hook-nosed man. President is so handsome. Jiang Yuanyuan kept clapping her hands from behind. President's internal energy has already been trained to the bone. Amazing. The others thought that Jiang Yuanyuan was exaggerating, but Li Fan turned around and looked at her carefully. From the looks of it, Jiang Yuanyuan and her sister were no ordinary outer sect disciples of the 8 Trigram school. The 2 of them had probably gone deeper in their studies, or at least come into contact with internal martial arts. As for those guys who practiced Taekwondo, it was obvious that they had just started and had yet to master their external martial arts. Li Fan didn't even use his inner force to deal with them. The only time he used his inner force was when he sucked on the table. Just like what Jiang Yuanyuan had said, the inner force had penetrated deep into his bones. Even if he didn't want to use it, it was still there. However, Jiang Yuanyuan actually saw through it in an instant. Her eyesight was not bad. With the president protecting us, we don't have to be afraid. To hell with Taekwondo, the freshman said excitedly. Li Fan, however, stretched out a hand and stopped him from continuing. Respect every kind of martial arts, Li Fan reminded him. Any kind of martial skill, its existence has a reason. Whether it's Chinese martial arts, Taekwondo, or karate, they've all been honed through generations of hard work. But, President, we're facing a very serious problem now. Jiang Yuanyuan took out the few registration forms. We've only accepted 3 people in one afternoon. Tomorrow is the last day of recruitment. If this goes on, I'm afraid we won't be able to get any more people. Do you want to recruit more people when it's time to recruit? That's right. This way, we could get a big classroom earlier. Jiang Yuanyuan nodded furiously. If we don't even have an activity room, how can our club develop? All right, Li Fan understood. As the saying goes, courtesy demands reciprocity. Since the Taekwondo club is so supportive, it's time for me to return the favor. As Li Fan said this, he took out a pen and paper, wrote a letter, and handed it to Jiang Yuanyuan. Send this to the Taekwondo club. What's this? Jiang Yuanyuan took the envelope and felt a little strange. A challenge. Li Fan's words surprised everyone. What are you doing? Challenging the club. Li Fan laughed. Only by trampling the Taekwondo club under our feet can we make our club famous. Everyone was quite speechless. That admirer couldn't help but ask, didn't you just say to respect every kind of martial arts? Well, we do need to respect every kind of martial arts. Li Fan smiled. After all, it takes a lot of effort to trample them under our feet. A group of people looked at Li Fan inexplicably. Is there such a saying? Why do you let others go? Aren't you afraid of them getting hurt? Jiang Yuanyuan bitterly looked at Li Fan. You? Hurt? It's good enough that you don't bully them. Li Fan gently flicked Jiang Yuanyuan's forehead. Go quickly and let their president clean himself. At 5 o'clock in the evening, I'll personally kick his ass. Got it. Annoying president. Jiang Yuanyuan pouted. Then you have to prepare delicious food for them. And, after we succeed, I'll treat everyone to the volcano hot pot at the entrance. Really? Jiang Yuanyuan was excited. That's great. I wanted to eat it for a long time, but I couldn't get it. Thank you, President. The club members also expressed their gratitude. To be able to eat the volcano hot pot, it wasn't something that could be eaten with money alone. Well, go quickly. Do you need me to treat you to a farewell drink? No, it's not auspicious at all. Jiang Yuanyuan snorted. I'm leaving. Don't miss me too much. Bang! A young man in a white Taoist robe was kicking the wooden plank hanging above his head, shattering it into pieces. He glanced at Huang Biao, who was lying on the ground. The hooked nose was crying beside him. A bunch of idiots. The president took the towel handed by the female club member and wiped the sweat on his forehead. You can't even deal with a trick monkey, and you still have the nerve to beg me. But he's really strong. The hooked nose's head was covered in yellow soil. He was in a very sorry state. Even Huang Biao was defeated by him. Huang Biao is too arrogant. The president coldly said, I guess that person lured him into a trap and made him impatient. An impatient martial artist, even a child, can defeat him. The hooked nose didn't know how to explain. At this moment, he really hoped that person would come and fight with the president to let the president understand. But the president was also very powerful. For 3 years in a row, he won a national Taekwondo championship. I heard that he even won the 2nd place in Korea last year. How could such a strong martial artist lose to a guy with flowery but impractical moves? Just as the hooked nose was thinking about how to explain, a beautiful girl pushed open the door and walked in. Is anyone here? I'm a messenger of war. Chapter 10:13. I'm here to issue a letter of challenge. Jiang Yuanyuan waved the letter of challenge in her hand. In a war between 2 countries, envoys are not to be killed. The president wiped the sweat off his hair and looked at the girl standing in the middle of the arena. What do you mean? She She's a member of the Martial Arts Society. The hooked nose hurriedly shouted, Martial Arts Society? That third-rate society? The president looked at the girl in front of him. They actually sent a woman to issue a challenge. What a joke. Hey, it's not a challenge. It's a letter of challenge, okay? See, it's clearly written on it. At 5 in the afternoon, our president will be here to challenge the club. Jiang Yunyuan emphasized, I'm just a beautiful and kind envoy. You should like me and welcome me. How can you bully me? What's the point of bullying a girl? Jiang Yuan's little mouth was very sharp, leaving the group of men in the Taekwondo club speechless. But the president didn't seem to fall for it. He sneered. It's not that easy to be an envoy. Since you dared to barge in, don't think of leaving unscathed. What do you mean? The school has its rules. Martial arts practitioners also have their own rules. The president didn't hold back. He pointed at Huang Biao, who was lying on the ground. You guys hurt my people. I naturally have to return the favor. Speaking of returning the favor, it was you guys who provoked us first, right? Jiang Yuan argued. You guys stole our people first. How did he become your people? Jiang Yuan raised her delicate little chin. Looking at the surrounding members, everyone, when you guys enter the club, did you all sign a contract to sell yourself? Seeing Jiang Yuan's beautiful eyes, the hooked nose almost subconsciously shook his head. Bang! The president stomped his foot on the floor, leaving a footprint. The hook-nosed man jumped in fright. We will always be members of the Taekwondo club. What a terrifying rule. Jiang Yuan shrugged. I really don't know why you guys like to join this kind of club. Are you all masochists? As she said, she walked to Huang Biao's side. Besides, you guys are all men, so what if you get hurt? She suddenly squatted down, looked at Huang Biao in front of her, and asked very gently, Does it hurt? It doesn't hurt. Huang Biao was indeed a tough nut to crack. That's good. Jiang Yuan grabbed Huang Biao's leg with both hands and exerted force. Crack! Roar! It was too sudden. Even Huang Biao, the burly man, let out a blood-curdling scream. Everyone in the club immediately got into position and looked at Jiang Yuan as if they were facing a formidable enemy. What are you shouting for? Your leg is fine. As Jiang Yuan spoke, she held her phone and seemed to be sending something. It's not fun here. I'm leaving. See you at 5 p.m. Jiang Yuan shook her phone. I've already posted a challenge on the school's Tiaba. It should be very lively here tonight. If your president wants to humiliate himself, I welcome him at any time. The president stood there with his hands on his waist, looking very arrogant. I respect each and every one of my opponents, so I will beat the crap out of them. He glanced at Jiang Yuan. As for you, I've said it before. Don't even think about leaving unscathed. He pointed at the door. 2 experts with red ribbons stood in front of the door. As for me, I don't hate bad men. Jiang Yuan looked at the president and mocked him. But I hate ungentlemanly guys. A man like you can't even find a girlfriend. As she said that, she ignored the president and walked towards the door. The 2 red ribbons tried to stop Jiang Yuan. They turned around and kicked at the same time, trying to force Jiang Yuan back. However, Jiang Yuan's canvas shoes suddenly rubbed against each other. Using the 8 trigrams perplexing footwork, she instantly dodged their kicks and arrived beside one of the red belt experts. Then, like a knife, she thrust her left palm towards his waist. But she hesitated for a moment before opening her palm and slapping it at the red ribbon's abdomen. Bam! The man's body flew out and crashed into his comrade. Both of them fell to the ground. Retards, see you tonight. With that, Jiang Yuan boldly walked out of the door and even gave the president a middle finger. Trash! The president looked at the 2 red ribbons on the ground. All black ribbons get ready. Tonight, I will let the martial arts club know what real combat skills are. As he said that, he turned around and broke a wooden stake beside him with a kick. Li Fan wants to challenge the Taekwondo club? Oh my God, is he crazy? Who cares? There's going to be a good show tonight. The G University students were a little excited today. The newly established martial arts club was ready to challenge the Taekwondo club. The Taekwondo club had been established in G University for 10 years. Every generation's president was a Taekwondo expert from Korea. It was said that the first president was a legend. At that time, Taekwondo was still not that popular in Huaxia. He founded the club and even used the Taekwondo he learned to defeat many Korean experts. In the end, the reputation of the Ji University Taekwondo Club grew, and the current president was called Kim Young-kwon. It was said that he was half Korean and was the runner-up in the Korean national competition. Li Fan was also a little famous. It was said that he had beaten up a few second-year sports students on the sports field. But how could it be possible for him to defeat an 8th Dan black belt expert with just this little bit of ability? Most people thought that this was Li Fan's attempt to create hype. Even if he lost, he could still gain some popularity for the martial arts club. As the saying goes, a tall tree attracts the wind. With the Taekwondo club being such a big club, Li Fan also wanted to ride on their coattails. When will Li Fan arrive? That shameless guy. I guess he won't dare to come? He's just making a fuss. He definitely won't dare to come. Many students had already gathered at the Taekwondo club, waiting to watch this challenge. But it was almost time, yet Li Fan had not arrived yet. Was he really too afraid to come? Luana had also arrived early. She was very curious. Although Li Fan was skilled in Qigong, could he really defeat Kim Young-kwon, who was the runner-up in Korea, in terms of combat? There were a lot of people who came to watch the show. Luckily, the Taekwondo club's venue was very big. Otherwise, it would not have been able to accommodate so many people. Is Li Fan too afraid to come? Someone from the student council muttered at the side. It's not time yet. Don't spout nonsense. Lu Wan-er glared at him, and that student immediately shut up. This was Lu Wan-er. It was already a blessing to be able to speak to her, even if she was reprimanded. The crowd was so envious that they could die. Lu Wan-er actually took the initiative to speak to this student. Look, Li Fan is here. Li Fan was wearing a white hooded tracksuit. He pushed open the door and walked in. Chapter 10:14. Li Fan liked to wear sportswear the most. It was more convenient for exercising and fighting. Xia had bought this white sportswear for him when she was shopping for the past 2 days. It was mainly because Li Fan did not bring any new clothes when he came. Li Fan was not a person who liked to buy clothes. Moreover, he often used the alien bone transformation, so it was easy for his clothes to burst. Therefore, the clothes he had were pitifully few. Li Fan quite liked the white sportswear that Xia Yi had chosen. He decided to take off his shirt as much as possible when he did the alien bone transformation in the future. Is that Li Fan? He looks quite ordinary. He looks so thin. Can he beat Kim Jong-won? I bet $100 that Li Fan will be knocked out in 10 seconds. The crowd of spectating students started chattering again. Li Fan had already walked to the center of the dojo and turned a deaf ear to their voices. Behind him were a few members of the martial arts society. Jiang Yuan and Jiang Fongfong stood on either side of Li Fan. This pair of exquisite girls was much more popular than Li Fan. Almost all the men had their eyes on them. Who are these girls? Twins. They are the best. Fuck, why are they following Li Fan? They seem to be members of the martial arts society. Are they blind? The two sisters heard clearly. Jiang Yuan could not help but mock them. Are these people too free? Ignore them. Jiang Fongfong's gaze followed Li Fan's back. From now on, it will be our martial arts society's first show. Li Fan stood in the center of the dojo with both hands in his pockets. He looked at the circle of Taekwondo disciples in white Taoist attire. Is that all? Li Fan smiled. I thought there would be more people. It should be more people than your small place. Kim Jong-won was wearing a clean Taoist attire. He stood on the stage and looked at Li Fan below. No matter how many scum there are, they won't be able to show up in public. Li Fan put away his politeness. Since he was here to challenge the dojo, there was no need to be polite. That would be too pretentious. The surrounding members of the Taekwondo club were angry and shouted at Li Fan. However, Jin Jingwang stretched out his hand and asked them to quiet down. You're not the first stubborn martial artist I've met. Jin Jingwang said, 2 years ago, I met a martial arts master who practiced Hong Kong. His mouth was as hard as yours, but when I kicked out 2 of his front teeth, he stopped talking. Li Fan frowned and looked at Jin Jingwang. This fellow was pretty arrogant. He was about to catch up to him. Originally, I wanted to personally teach you a lesson, but after thinking about it, I don't think it's necessary. You're not worth my time. I worked hard to cultivate and compete in the arena in order to pursue a higher realm of martial skills and to find stronger opponents. You're too weak. You're nothing but a liar who only knows how to put on a show. He clapped his hands, and 3 men with black belts walked out from among his club members. The 3 of them are early-level black belts. If you can defeat the 3 of them, you'll be considered to have succeeded in challenging the dojo. A lot of girls who came to watch were disappointed. They wouldn't be able to see Jin Jingguang's heroic bearing. Just when everyone was a little disappointed, Li Fan hooked his finger at them. 3 people is too boring. Why don't you all come together? It'll be a little more exciting. Junior, don't be too arrogant. Jin Jingguang reminded him. Don't hurt yourself just to be in the limelight. I'd like to see who dares to hurt him today. Just when Jin Jingguang finished his words, a voice suddenly came in from outside the door. Everyone turned around and saw a beautiful woman wearing a white dress slowly walking in from the open door. This woman seemed to have an icy aura, making the men who saw her feel cold. Ice Queen. Almost everyone had the same feeling. Behind the beauty, there were 2 men. One was wearing a gray suit with a handsome face and a smile hanging on the corner of his mouth, as if he was a young master of some family. The other one was tall and strong like a small mountain, but his expression seemed to be a little dull and silly. Could it be that this kind of beauty is also a new student? When Li Fan saw her, he sucked in a mouthful of cold air. Luo Shuo? Long time no see. Night Rain Tower cupped his hands towards Li Fan, while Guo Mingming took out a chicken leg from his pants and passed it to Li Fan. Do you want to eat? Luo Shuo carried an icy aura, and her voice was as cold as the wind. She stood in the dojo and looked at the surrounding weak, ordinary people and warned them. I'd like to see who dares to hurt my fiancé today. Cold sweat dripped down from Li Fan's forehead. Your fiancé? Before Li Fan could reply, a woman's voice came from the spectator's stand. This voice was very soft, but it was clearly transmitted to everyone's ears. Everyone turned their heads and saw a beautiful girl wearing a purple cheongsam standing there. Her hair was coiled up with a black jade and black phoenix hairpin. A lock of her bangs hung down and rested on her impeccable face. Her snow-white skin looked like it could be broken by the wind. This girl's body was pretty much perfect. The cheongsam wrapped around a pair of peaks. It was at least a D cup. Her slim waist looked like it could be held with one hand. Her curves flowed down, and her perky but propped up the cheongsam once more. The short cheongsam only reached a little below her thighs and covered her absolute territory. Below was a pair of perfectly round long legs, and she wore a pair of black high heels. Such a woman was a peerless beauty. She was comparable to the white-clothed beauty in front of her. When he saw this girl, Li Fan's pupils constricted. Why did she come? Morong Ying? What are you doing here? Luo Shu looked at the beauty above her head with an unfriendly expression. Why do I need to tell you where I want to go in this world? Morong Ying was still domineering. Li Fan's eyes were a little obsessed. He quickly came to his senses and wondered if he was a little masochistic. This is my fiancé's university. What does it have to do with you? Luo Shuo's words made a group of boys envious. What did this Li Fan have? Shun Chen's confession was fine, but how did he get such a beautiful fiancé? President Jin Jingguang stood there and was also a little confused. What was going on? However, he forgot to stop them for a moment and only looked at the 2 beauties. Although the twins were also very beautiful, in terms of temperament, they could not be compared with these 2 at all. I'm not here to compete with you for a man. Murong crossed her arms and stood there, looking down at Luo Shuo. But even if I don't want him, I don't want to give him to you. No one could take away what I want. As Luo Shuo spoke, her long hair suddenly floated up. Everyone in the dojo felt a bone-piercing chill and could not help but shiver. It was clearly summer. Chapter 10:15. Everyone felt a chill and couldn't help being surprised. What's going on? For City G, it's still summer in September. Why do I feel so cold? Is the air conditioning in the training hall broken? Murong didn't think so and looked at Luo Shuo. It seems that your 9-heaven mysterious ice has made some progress. But do you think you can fight against me with this? Yes, I'm not as good as you, but it doesn't mean that I'm afraid of you. Luo Shu looked at Murong Ying, who was much more powerful than her, but she did not show the slightest hint of fear. Although it will hurt my body, it's nothing to defeat you. As she said, she stood in front of Li Fan. He belongs to me. No one can take him away. What a joke. His ownership is not up to you, Xiao Qingfeng, to decide. Murong Ying said sarcastically, how dare a lousy league club compete with me? Murong Ying. So what? Let's have a fight. As Luo Shu said, she pointed at Murong Ying above her head. Today, there's no winner or loser, only life and death. Li Fan had a headache. Why do these two girls fight to the death? Okay, just what I want. Murong Ying agreed. When Li Fan was about to speak, Jin Jingguang spoke first. You two, it's not good to quarrel in my place, right? Although you two are beautiful, you've affected the activities of my club, so I can only expel you two. Unless you two are willing to join my Taekwondo club, I will teach you 2 real martial arts, and then you can compete with Taekwondo. Li Fan wanted to laugh. Murong Ying didn't care about him at all. Luo Shu just glanced at him, which made Jin Jingguang feel cold all over and shiver subconsciously. Go away. Luo Shu spat out these 2 words lightly. Then I can only expel you two. Being humiliated by a beauty in front of so many people, Jin Jingguang suddenly felt a little embarrassed. He waved his hand, signaling for the club members to chase the 2 women away. The 2 club members had already walked towards Luo Shu. Guo Mingming, who had been smiling foolishly, had a cold expression on his face. He stretched out his hands and grabbed the heads of the 2 club members. Then, as if he was throwing away garbage, he threw them several meters away. My apologies. Night Rain Tower apologized to the crowd. This is our guild master. Outsiders are not allowed to get close to him. Please forgive us. What's with the pretense? Beat him up, a club member shouted, and all the Taekwondo club members immediately surrounded him. When Guo Mingming saw them, he immediately raised his right foot and stomped heavily on the ground. Bang! The floor of the training hall trembled, and a force rose up, causing all the members to fall to the ground. Aya, look at you guys. Didn't I remind you guys Night Rain Tower side? Why don't you listen to me? The surrounding students were all dumbfounded. What kind of power was this? Did he knock everyone down in one go? Is this a martial skill? Guo Mingming. Murong Ying immediately scolded. Have you forgotten the rules of the pugilistic world? How dare you use true chi on ordinary people? I think you don't want her legs anymore. As the guild master of the pugilistic world, she could not allow the people of the pugilistic world to break the rules of the pugilistic world. Amidst the exclamations of the crowd, Murong Ying suddenly jumped down from the 2nd floor. She floated down from the air and went straight for Guo Mingming. Her 2 fingers were like swords, stabbing towards Guo Mingming's thigh. Night Rain Tower pulled out a sword and was about to use the 7-star sword, but Murong Ying slapped with her other hand. A strong gust of wind blew on his body, sending him flying 3 meters away and crashing into the pillar behind him. Guo Mingming raised his iron fist and punched towards Murong Ying's beautiful face. To him, there was no difference between a man and a woman, and there was no special meaning to a beautiful woman. But the chief of the pugilistic world was the chief of the pugilistic world. She retracted her palm and caught Guo Mingming's fist. She exploded like ripples, but Guo Mingming's fist was also blocked. Murong Ying's sword finger stabbed Guo Mingming's thigh. Blood spurted out, but Guo Mingming sealed his acupuncture point with a backhand. Then, he cupped his fists and punched towards Murong Ying again. Murong Ying backhanded her palm, and the gust of wind blew on Guo Mingming's body, sending him flying. The surrounding people were dumbfounded. What kind of martial arts was this? As expected of Chief Murong, let my 9 heavens mystic ice fight against you. As Luo Shu spoke, her black hair suddenly began to fade, and in a short while, it turned silver white. And a strong aura also erupted from her body. The surrounding cold air became even thicker and many people began to shiver. Ice Witch, Muronging couldn't help but raise her eyebrows. I didn't expect you to have already practiced to this level. It's prepared for you. Luo Xiaowu's figure suddenly flickered a few times. Like a ghost, she pulled out a few phantoms and suddenly appeared in front of Muronging. Her ice palm fell from the sky and pressed down on Muronging's forehead. Muronging raised her hand and pointed 2 fingers at Luo Xiaowu's palm. Bang! A strong qi exploded from Luo Xiaowu's palm. Luo Xiaowu's palm was bounced off, but Muronging was also shaken and took a step back. Her 2 fingers trembled slightly. You forcibly reached the realm of 10 dragons? It seems that the 9 heavens mystic ice is really an evil martial art. It doesn't matter whether the martial art is evil or not, Luo Xiaowu said coldly. As long as I can kill you, it's enough. As she spoke, the temperature around her dropped a few degrees, and frost appeared faintly on the ground. Take another palm of mine. Luo Xiaowu took another step forward. Her palm was as white as jade, and she pressed it on Muronging's chest. Do you think I'm afraid of you? Muronging snorted coldly. Instead of retreating, she advanced and threw a flame palm to meet it. The palms of the 2 beauties touched each other, and a powerful palm pressure immediately spread out and impacted the surroundings. The floor of the training hall under them was directly shattered, but their bodies were still floating in the air, being pulled by the force. The power of ice and fire kept impacting on each other. The 2 were frozen in the air for 2 seconds, and then Luo Xiaowu was sent flying. With white smoke on her body, she heavily hit the wall behind her. And Muronging's body was also sent flying 3 meters away. She stepped on the ground and stabilized her body. Luo Xiaowu fell down from the wall and wiped a trace of blood from the corner of her mouth. Not bad. Interesting. Let's do it again. As she spoke, she gave Guomingming and Night Rain Tower a look. Are we really going to do this? Night Rain Tower couldn't help but worry. Don't waste time, Luo Xiaowu scolded. The 2 came behind her obediently and put their palms on her back. Chapter 10:16. Night Rain Tower and Guomingming put their palms on Luo Xiaowu's back and instilled true qi into her body. Breeze divine power. Muronging raised her eyebrows slightly and adjusted the true qi in her body at the same time. You've taken out all your trump cards. This Breeze Divine Power was a joint attack technique created by Smiling Breeze Sword. It allowed the true qi of the same sect to be injected into the opponent's body to enhance the opponent's martial arts. But this would also damage some of their lifespan, so they rarely used it except for fighting with their lives. Of course, we'll fight to the death today. Luo Xiaowu absorbed the true qi of the 2 people, and her eyes seemed to turn silver. Her skirt fluttered, and then she bounced her feet and flew towards Muronging again. An ice palm with a strong chill went straight towards Muronging. Muronging was not careless. She raised her right palm, which was scarlet red, and the flame palm was also pushed to the extreme. As the leader of the martial arts world, she must win this battle today. Clang! But at this moment, a man's figure suddenly appeared between the 2 women. He stretched out his hands, 1 on each side, and directly took the 2 palms of the 2 people. As if a golden bell had been rung, a huge impact impacted the dojo, causing pain in the ears of the surrounding people, and they were on the verge of falling. Li Fan stood there, white smoke coming out of his body, and only used his body to block the attack of the 2 women. You 2, stop fooling around. Li Fan reached out and pushed them away. Today is the Young Master Challenge. Why did you come out to join the fun? Dear, get out of the way. This is a battle of life and death between me and her. When Luo Xiaowu spoke to Li Fan, she was a little gentler. Move my ass. Stop and stand aside. Li Fan's eyes widened, and he pointed to the praying mat beside him. Luo Xiaowu's true qi flickered a few times, and finally, she withdrew it and sat aside obediently. And you and I are now enemies. Can you please respect your opponent? Li Fan turned his head and looked at Muronging. I've told you since the first time we met. I am Li Fan, not anyone's goods. Please don't use your values to measure me. Umph. Murong struggled for a moment, then said, I'm not here for you. I'm here for Xiao AI. Xiao AI? Is she here too? Li Fan looked around, but didn't see Murong. She should have arrived a few days earlier than me, but I don't know where she went. This girl is clever. She must have known that I would come and is hiding from me. Murong said, You guys are the same. A young girl of this age needs to make friends. Why did you lock her up? Murong's family is a bunch of unreasonable people. Oh, are you blaming us? Murong looked at Li Fan. This little girl saw the news of someone being confessed to by a big star, so she sneaked out. Don't you want to explain this matter? It's just a misunderstanding. You don't have to take it seriously. Li Fan coughed twice. I also hope it's a misunderstanding. But it seems that you're quite happy after we broke off the engagement. Murong glanced at the twins standing beside Li Fan. You're imagining things again. You don't like to communicate, so you're such a failure. Li Fan couldn't help but scold Murong. Me? Failure? Murong smiled. I'm the leader of the martial arts circle. How could I fail? Look around you. When did you have a friend? Li Fan asked. Murong became proud. A master doesn't need friends. I have a sword in my hand. That's enough. Nonsense. You're unreasonable. When Li Fan heard Murong's words, he was furious. Paranoid. Little overlord Li Fan, you say I'm paranoid? Murong asked. If you're not paranoid, why are we in this situation today? Originally, we should have an engagement party this year. When she said this, even Murong couldn't help but tremble a little. Yes, we're both paranoid. It seems that we're destined not to be together. Li Fan said bluntly, Leave Murong. We're enemies. If you continue to stay here, so what? Are you going to attack me? So what if I attack you? Li Fan looked at Murong. You've attacked me many times. You're right. Murong smiled once again. However, this smile broke the hearts of countless men. Your kung fu has improved a little. That's good. In this case, the next time we fight, you won't die so quickly. You're flattering me, Li Fan said in a loud voice. Defeating you is no longer interesting. The person I want to defeat is that abnormal father of yours. Don't go too far. Murong wanted to leave. But when she heard Li Fan's words, she retracted her foot. Your words are a humiliation to my Murong villa. So what if I'm humiliating you? Li Fan laughed. Is that old thief Murong trying to be friendly with me? Li Fan. Murong stretched out her right hand. Everyone felt a blur in front of them. Then, cherry blossom petals suddenly fell from the top of the training hall. Everyone was surprised. Where did these cherry blossoms come from? These cherry blossoms fell in front of Murong. They spun and condensed together, forming a sword which she held out her hand. Let's settle this battle today. Murong pointed the sword at Li Fan. Good. Li Fan's temper flared up. He took off his sportswear and revealed his upper body. His smooth lines attracted some girls. Li Fan's figure seemed to be quite good. Lua was looking forward to it. Today, would she be able to see the Overlord subduing tiger painting again? Li Fan's body suddenly expanded by 3 times. With the alien bone swap, he grew to nearly 2 meters tall. His skin turned slightly red. A lifelike Overlord subduing tiger painting appeared behind him, causing the surrounding students to exclaim. Oh my God, he really has a tattoo. No, I want to ask, is this a movie? Where did the cherry blossoms come from? How did Li Fan suddenly become so strong? What's going on? Oh my God, where did these people come from? Are they Chinese wuxia? The surrounding audience did not know what was going on and felt shocked. But Li Fan did not care about what they thought. Murong was a true expert. He had to use his full strength to deal with her. He might as well increase his strength recently. With the strength of a grandmaster, fighting with her should not be a loss. My Murong family will not tolerate being tarnished. As Murong said that, she held onto the cherry blossom sword and suddenly jumped up. Then, she descended from the sky and slashed down towards Li Fan's head. The cherry blossoms were dancing, but death was approaching. Li Fan was not careless. He stretched out his right hand and wrapped his innate chi around it, grabbing onto the sword that was slashing down. Chapter 10:17. The overlord behind Li Fan seemed to be roaring. He used his own palms to block a treasured sword that could cut through iron as if it were mud. The golden true chi wrapped around his palm, becoming the key to protecting his palm. At the same time, Li Fan condensed a ball of air in his left hand and threw it toward Murong Ying above his head. Dragon Spitting Pearl. The ball of air hit Murong Ying's body and sent her flying to the ceiling. Murong Ying swept her 2 fingers and broke the ball of air. Then, she stepped on the ceiling and bounced down. Carrying the sword, she turned into a ray of sword light and fell down from the sky like a thunderbolt. This sword technique is quite similar to Li Fan's god-slaying might. This sword is very fast. The others couldn't even see it clearly. However, Li Fan has a special ability. In his eyes, Murong Ying's speed was slowed down by several times. Li Fan slightly took a step back and dodged Murong Ying's thunderous sword. At the same time, he stretched out his palms and pushed Murong Ying's body. Bang! Murong Ying's body was sent flying and heavily fell to the ground. She turned over and stood up again. However, Li Fan has already arrived in front of her and slapped Murong Ying's forehead. Murong Ying raised her sword horizontally and blocked Li Fan's palm. Clang! She slid 3 meters away. If not for the protection of her true chi, her high heels would have been broken. Murong Ying, you are no longer my opponent. Li Fan walked over step by step and said in a deep voice, "Let your father come. Only he is worthy for me to beat him up." Li Fan, although you're a lot stronger, don't be too arrogant. Murong Ying said, "I haven't used my full strength." Then why don't you use your full strength? Li Fan's body began to emit white smoke. His condition was about to reach its peak. But at this moment, the two of them frowned at the same time and looked out of the window. "Looks like someone doesn't want us to fight." Murong Ying said, "We've already alerted the Imperial Secret Service. Next time, let's find a place with no one around and have a good fight." After that, Murong Ying stood up and patted the dust off her body. "Next time, I promise I'll let you and me have a good time." As soon as she finished speaking, Murong Ying had already jumped out of the window. Li Fan also dispersed his alien bone, changing and returned to his original appearance. "Can't you just walk through the door? Why are you pretending to be cool?" Luo Xiuwu mocked. "Don't talk about her. You should also hurry back to the Great Snow Mountain." Li Fan glared at Luo Xiuwu and said, "What are you doing here? I heard that you have a new girlfriend. Can't I come and see?" Luo Xiuwu looked at Li Fan unwillingly and said, "You said that you would marry me. It's not time yet." Li Fan also had a headache. "We are not fated yet. When the time comes, I will naturally marry you. No, a long night is fraught with dreams." Luo Xiuwu said, "I think you have reached the realm of a generation's master. Come back to the headquarters with me. I will assist you to unify the Jianghu. What's the point of this place where mortals gather?" Luo Xiuwu glanced at the people around her and said, "Look at them. How stupid they are. Hey, who are you calling stupid?" Jiang Yuan was unhappy. "So what if your martial arts are better? Don't be too arrogant. Little girl, how can you be so rash?" Luo Xiuwu was slightly unhappy. What made Luo Xiuwu unhappy was Guomingming's enemy. He immediately roared, stepped forward, and slapped Jiang Yuan. Li Fan was furious. This Guomingming, was his brain really stupid? He was about to make a move, but Jiang Yuan had already used the 8 trigrams disorienting footwork to one side. At the same time, she poked Guomingming's waist with her hand, which made Guomingming feel pain. Jiang Fangfang leaned forward, grabbed Guomingming's calf with both hands, and lifted it up. Bang! Guomingming directly fell on his face. Humph! We sisters are not easy to bully. Jiang Yuan fiercely stepped on Guomingming's but twice. "Yo, good kung fu." Luo Xiuwu's eyes lit up. "Where did you find this pair of treasures? Why don't you give them to me? I will take them back to the headquarters and train them. In the future, I will definitely shock the Wolin." "Are you kidding me? We are all students. We need to go to class. Why go back to the headquarters?" Li Fan quickly dispelled Luo Xiaowu's idea. Don't mess around. Take them back quickly. Night Rain Tower, what's wrong with you? How can you let your chief do whatever he wants? Brotherly, I am just a commander. Except for fighting, I don't have the final say. Night Rain Tower shrugged his shoulders. Why do I see that you are quite proud of yourself? That's your misconception. Night Rain Tower, this unreliable fellow, was definitely here to watch the show. To be honest, you should also go back to East Sword. Night Rain Tower pulled Guomingming up. That is also your home. Night Rain Tower's words were very pertinent. Li Fan did not refute. Go back with me now. Luo Xiaowu was a little unwilling. She pulled Li Fan's hand. Forget it, Chief. You still can't see that Li Fan's heart is here. Night Rain Tower persuaded his chief again. When he is tired, he will naturally come back. The Reliant Sword is his final harbor. But, Chief, we have also accompanied you here. It is to let you understand Li Fan's thoughts. Night Rain Tower became serious. Don't forget that the three major alliances are eyeing us covetously. The longer you leave, the more dangerous the alliance will be. All right, Luo Xiaowu had matters to attend to after all. She could not stay here for too long. Then I will go back to the headquarters and wait for you. All right, I can control my cold chi now. I can help you give birth to a son. Luo Xiaowu's words almost made Li Fan spit out a mouthful of blood. The sisters looked at him strangely, and Li Fan didn't know how to explain it. I know. You should go back quickly. Li Fan felt like he was coaxing a country wife to go home quickly. I will wait for you to come back. Luo Xiaowu turned around and returned to her appearance of an ice queen. Before she left the room, she turned her head back and said, Don't worry. Whoever dares to touch my man will be like this wall. With that, Luo Xiaowu's palm landed on the wall beside her. There was a clear palm print left on the cement wall. It was as deep as a finger, and it was frightening to look at. Luo Xiaowu left with her two subordinates. Li Fan also heaved a sigh of relief and said to Jin Jingwang, There was a small accident just now. Let's start again. Jin Jingwang felt his cheeks twitching. I'm not feeling well today. Why don't we fight another day? That will spoil the fun. Li Fan smiled. Meeting friends through martial arts. What is there to be afraid of? Your level is too low. I don't want to compete with you. Then why don't you let me use one hand? Looking at Li Fan's expectant gaze, Jin Jingwang cursed in his heart. Chapter 1018. Come, all of you can come at me together. Li Fan hooks his finger at the black belt students. It's okay. I can handle it. We can't handle it. Those students are wailing in their hearts. They don't know where this Li Fan came from. How is this modern fighting? Isn't this the martial arts world in novels? Jin Jingwang is also very nervous. He heard that after training martial arts to a certain state, it will break through and cultivate qi, making the body stronger. Jin Jingwang only thought this is a superstitious qigong. He didn't expect that there is such a state in reality. He practiced Taekwondo for so many years. Why can't he comprehend it? Everyone, today I am here to challenge your dojo. No one dares to accept my challenge. Li Fan can't help but frown. Aren't these people too cowardly? If you guys don't want to come, then I will. A youth with a white belt suddenly walks out. Chinese martial arts master, don't be too proud. You still haven't seen a real expert. After saying that, he walks out. Li Tai, Jin Jingwang is surprised to see this student. This is a student from Korea with pure Korean blood. He is somewhat related to Qin Haodong, but he just started learning Taekwondo. Qin Haodong letting him join the club is to train him. If he wants to challenge this Chinese expert, he definitely won't win. Calm down. You just started learning Taekwondo. Not suitable for martial arts. Taekwondo is the soul of our Korean nation. How can it be trampled by a Chinese martial artist? Li Tai looks young, but his backbone is very strong. Come, Chinese friend, I will let you know what is the real Taekwondo. After saying that, Li Tai stretches out his hands, clasps them together, and salutes Li Fan. This was the etiquette of a modern martial artist. Li Fan cupped his hands at him and returned the gesture. But Li Tai suddenly bounced up and kicked at Li Fan with a whirlwind. Li Fan is surprised. He stretches out his hands and pushes Li Tai's leg away. As soon as Li Tai landed on the side, he suddenly flipped his leg upside down, making a 180-degree half-moon kick, and once again landed on Li Fan. Li Fan took 2 steps back. Li Tai's foot landed on the ground, shattering a piece of the floor. True Chi. Li Fan smiled. Interesting. I didn't expect you to know martial arts too. Zhenqi? No. We're called morality, Li Tai proudly said. It is much stronger than your so-called true Chi. As he spoke, Li Tai activated his morality and leaped into the air, kicking at Li Fan dozens of times. Kim Jingguang was dumbfounded. This was impossible. How could Li Tai have morality? He actually didn't know. When Jin Jingguang thought about how he had guided Li Tai, he just wanted to find a hole to hide in. As for Li Tai, he sent out dozens of kicks in the air, but they were all slapped away by Li Fan's crane hand. Although Li Tai knew some internal martial arts that were similar to true Chi, his strength was only at the point of perfection. Your strength is not bad, but you still need to practice more. Li Fan acted like he was playing with a child. While defending against Li Tai, he said to him, "Moreover, you have too many useless moves. Regarding those fancy moves, although they look good, they're not practical at all. Martial arts is not a competition. There is no need to look at them." "Humph, you talk too much nonsense. My martial arts is perfect." Li Tai did not believe Li Fan's words. His body spun again, creating a whirlwind, and kicked at Li Fan. But this time Li Fan did not dodge. He allowed Li Tai to kick in front of him. Spirit Snake Entanglement. Li Fan suddenly extended his right hand and locked Li Tai's calf, forcibly blocking his kick. At the same time, Li Fan's right hand pulled Li Tai in front of him. His left elbow heavily struck Li Tai's lower abdomen. Puff! Li Tai spat out a mouthful of bitter water. He almost fainted. Li Fan was not in a hurry to knock him down. He extended his hand and pushed Li Tai away. Then he beckoned to him. Again, heart-piercing kick. Li Tai endured the pain. He once again leaped in front of Li Fan. His whole body jumped in the air. His legs were like artillery shells as he kicked horizontally towards Li Fan. Li Fan leaned to the side and raised his leg. His shoulder did not even sway as he kicked Li Tai, who was still in midair. Li Tai spun and flew out, smashing into a pillar, smashing into pieces. This is called heart-piercing kick. Li Fan retracted his right leg, and a large piece of Li Tai's clothes on the back was torn, and a red bruise appeared on his back. But I held back a bit. "You won't die." Li Fan had just sent true energy from his foot into Li Tai's body. Originally, he could have directly kicked Li Tai's heart, but he held back. If he really killed Li Tai, his university life would end prematurely. Li Tai was lying there. Although Li Fan did not kick his heart, he was definitely not feeling well. He vomited again and again, unable to recover for a long time. "Let's practice a bit more." Li Fan looked at Jin Jingguang. "President, there is no one else. How about we have a spar?" "Forget it. My stomach is not feeling well. Let's call it a day." How could Jin Jingguang dare to fight with Li Fan? He felt that his 3 views had been impacted. "Then I succeeded in kicking the dojo?" "Succeeded," Jin Jingguang announced unwillingly. "All right." Li Fan extended his hand. Jiang Fangfang handed Li Fan's sportswear to him. "Dear friends and fellow students, the Martial Arts Society will have one last round of recruitment tomorrow. I, Li Fan, welcome all those who wish to join our Martial Arts Society. We will promote Chinese martial arts and become the strongest in the world." Although Li Fan's slogan was a bit exaggerated, his skills today had already awed these people. The Martial Arts Society, Lu Wunner couldn't help but say as she watched Li Fan's high-spirited back in the dojo. "I'm afraid it's going to be overcrowded." Li Fan's challenge this time was indeed successful. On the last day of recruitment, there was an endless stream of people signing up. On the contrary, the Taekwondo club was not able to recover. Many people left the club to join Li Fan's club. As long as they wanted to learn martial arts, Li Fan fulfilled his promise and accepted them all. Before the recruitment ended, Li Fan had accepted no less than 100 club members. According to Lu Wunner, there would be more and more in the future. Lu Wunner did not lie to Li Fan. She helped Li Fan get a large dance studio to use as the club's activity center. For a new club, a space of more than 200 square meters was already considered very large. What are you doing here? Let's go. On the first day of Li Fan's club activity, he suddenly heard a commotion at the door. Chapter 1019. Li Fan walked over to take a look. His admirer, the freshman, was blocking another person, not letting him in. Let me in. I want to learn martial arts from Master. This is the Martial Arts Society. You, a Korean, want to learn? Dream on. The admirer scolded. Hurry up and go back to your society. You're not welcome here. I won't leave until I see Master. Ma Dan, if it wasn't for the fact that I can't beat you, I would have done it already. The admirer wanted to continue scolding, but Li Fan suddenly reached out and patted his shoulder. Stop talking and get into the horse stance. Getting into the horse stance was Li Fan's first requirement for the Martial Arts Society members. Although his modified version of Seven Heroes Force could improve their physiques, the basics still needed to be practiced. For a martial artist, the lower body was very important. This was also why when he first started learning martial arts, Murong Ing asked him to do the horse stance every day in class. There was no quick way to master martial arts. Li Fan was already considered to have improved very quickly, but not everyone was like him, possessing a pure yang body. The society originally had a total of 150 members, but after 2 days of boring training, more than 70 had left. But Li Fan was not in a hurry. He strived for perfection. If they couldn't persevere, it was better to leave early. As for those with good physique, Li Fan would focus on training them. And this Li Tai actually came to ask to be his disciple, which surprised Li Fan a little. But he's a Korean. Li Fan's admirer was a little confused. So what if he's a Korean? Martial arts has no boundaries. Li Fan said straightforwardly, in the future, I will open a martial arts school overseas and let the foreigners learn together. But if the foreigners learn it and become powerful, what should we do? Then train hard. Won't it be better if you're stronger than them and defeat them? You're right, President, the admirer nodded and turned around to do the horse stance. After he left, Jiang Yuan came over to join the fun. Io, isn't this Li Tai? What's up? Are you here to visit us? I'm here to acknowledge you as my master. Li Tai bowed to Li Fan. I hope you can accept me as your disciple. First of all, it's not just a simple bow to accept a disciple in our country. Secondly, I no longer accept disciples. If you want to learn martial arts, I'll teach you. Really? Li Tai was a little excited. I can learn martial arts from you? Sure. Li Fan pointed at the students who were doing the horse stance. But it'll be a little boring at the beginning. You go do the horse stance first. All right. Li Tai immediately nodded. I will let you see my perseverance. With that said, he walked over without hesitation and squatted there with the other students. However, Li Tai had never practiced the horse stance before, so his squatting posture was not very accurate. Jiang Yuan immediately walked over and kicked his shin. Squat down a little more. Li Tai obediently complied. Keep squatting. Keep squatting. Why are you like a girl? Are you afraid of pulling your balls? Why are you squatting so deep? Taking a shit? Raise it higher. Yes, it's about right now. It's barely enough. Squat down properly. I'll come check you. Li Fan couldn't help but want to laugh. Jiang Yuan, this girl was too funny. Li Tai had just arrived, but he already went to throw down his horse stance. Speaking of which, the martial arts of the two of you are at least at the level of reaching the next level. Li Fan said to Jiang Fongfong, who was waving the 8 trigram saber at the side. Yes. Jiang Fongfong nodded. But I didn't practice martial arts seriously in high school, so my martial arts fell behind a little. Otherwise, I should be able to reach the peak of perfection. The martial arts world's major sects have countless experts. Li Fan couldn't help but praise, especially the young talents of this generation. There are quite a few of them. I hope that in a few years, the martial arts world will be able to reproduce the golden age of grandmasters walking everywhere and reaching the peak, as many as dogs. Uffed. Jiang Fongfong was quite serious at first, but she was amused by Li Fan at once. What you said, why don't I look forward to it at all? How can I not be serious? Chinese martial arts are declining, and I'm also working hard and worrying about all kinds of things. It's not easy for me. Li Fan looked like he was worried about the country and the people. Do you really want to open a martial arts club? Jiang Fangfang couldn't help but ask. Of course, otherwise I wouldn't have come to City G. Li Fan looked at the students who were training in front of him. But it's easy to say, but difficult to do. Look at these students here. I'm going to have a month of intensive training first. But after a month, I don't know how many of them will be left. Maybe quite a lot. You're just comforting yourself with this. Li Fan looked at the calluses on Jiang Fangfang's hands. I don't need to say how difficult it is to practice martial arts. You should know it yourself. It's indeed difficult to practice martial arts, but it's like sailing against the current. Once you reach the upper reaches, you'll naturally be able to swim freely. You're right, but how many people can swim against the current? Li Fan sighed. There are fewer and fewer people, so I want to pass on my martial arts to more people. It's good if one more person can swim up. We'll help you. Jiang Fangfang comforted Li Fan. Aren't you afraid that your family will criticize you too? Father only hopes that brother will inherit the family. Jiang Fangfang's face darkened. Your family is so fertile, isn't it? Triplets. Of course not. The two of us have the same father but different mothers. Jiang Fangfang explained. Hey. Why do you care so much about our gossip? Jiang Yuan came over. Mr. President, you're still like a girl, interested in gossip. No matter what, you're all the core members of my club. Li Fan looked at Jiang Yuan's mischievous look and couldn't help but scratch her nose again. Won't you let me show some concern? You're scratching my nose again. It's all gone. Jiang Yuan slapped Li Fan's paw away. If your hand isn't honest, I'll chop it off. Then you'll have to defeat me first. If you teach me martial arts, I'll be able to defeat you. Aren't you from the 8 Trigram School? Li Fan asked. Why do you still want to learn my martial arts? Because I think your martial arts are amazing. Every martial art is amazing. Li Fan reminded Jiang Yuan. As long as you keep practicing, you'll be able to achieve something. I first practiced the simplest 5 animal frolics, but I persevered until the end. With some of my own creations, it became the current 7-hero fist. I heard that the 7-hero fist is one of the top 10 martial arts. Jiang Yuan was still curious. I still want to learn. Oh, then let's spar. I'll see your foundation and then decide what kind of martial arts to teach you. Li Fan wasn't stingy and suggested. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.